Having a look at our feature race here, this is a Group 3 as well. This is the Missile Stakes. We see the return of Danehill Smile. She's just walked past us. She looks in pretty good order here for Anthony Cummings.
Captain backs 13 into 10, back to 11. Vianetto 18 to 20, 50.
In the Missile, and Spirulina broke well, so too did Keen Commander, and the favourite's got its head in front, and then came Goldam, who's going forward, and it's Keen Commander just in front of Goldam, and Typhoon Zed's not all that far away. Spots here, they're just going at a steady clip, led from Goldam outside it, and then came Spirulina, followed by Typhoon Zed. Interfere, Vecchia Roma, Captain backs from Danehill Smile, Vianetto and Rose Cutter last of all. Into the stretch they come, and Keen Commander got away from Goldam, opened up a length. Typhoon Zed comes after the leader, and then Captain backs, interferes, coming down the outside. Typhoon Zed's run straight up to Keen Commander and put its head in front. Captain backs is sliding up along the fence, and Interfere is running on down the outside. It's Typhoon Zed and Captain backs and Interfere. Captain backs has got his head in front on the rail, and Captain backs won the Missile. Beat Typhoon Zed and Interfere, and then we've got a photo for fourth between Vecchia Roma and Danehill Smile. Keen Commander was most disappointing up the straight when the pressure was applied, and then Vianetto, Goldam, Rose Cutter, and last in was Spirulina.
Captain backs the pace setter winner. Well, he finished in front, and he's done it again here.
He's just absolutely flying at the moment, Captain backs, and a winner of the pace setter.
Manikato comes around 7-horse field, and as we look down the board, we can see number 6 Anatomica.
30 for the favourite Anatomica. $3.10 Black. Racing now, Great Dispatch, and Black Minx was driven out of the stalls, and it's got its head in front early. Anatomic is going through to match it now. Presley and Whitefriars is going forward as well, so 4 of them are vying for the lead, but Whitefriars has taken off and gone to the front and headed them. And it's Whitefriars in front, lead forces. Whitefriars in front at the 600, led by a length and a half on Black Minx, who's got in one off the rail. Anatomica third on the fence, and then came Presley. Dewporth is back fifth on the inside, and Bowman's urging him along, followed by Pure Drama. Anatomic Force last of all. It's Whitefriars the leader inside the 400. Anatomica got the split to go to second. Black Minx is struggling, and then came Presley. Now Dewporth is starting to wind up. Whitefriars led at the 200. Dewporth is coming through in the centre. Then Anatomica and Atomic Force on the outside. Whitefriars is grabbed by Dewporth. Dewporth put its head in front. Dewporth wins the San Domenico. Won it from either Whitefriars, I think it's run second, just in front of Atomic Force, and then Anatomica Pure Drama, and Presley's run second last, and Black Minx has run the worst race of her career. She's dropped out and finished last of all.
Yeah, Dewporth, Huey Bowman for Anthony Cummings. He's backed this fella, and isn't Red Ranch...
Nathan Tingler with Patinack Farm and some really nice youngsters coming through, so could be a very, very big spring carnival for Anthony Cummings, and well, Richard's within.
We breed, isn't it?
Very, very big spring carnival for Anthony Cummings, and well, Richard's within.
We breed, isn't it? Red Ransom, staging, Hugh Bowman on board.
Anthony, surely that in force was a good run. You know, I think there's a race in Atomic Force over the spring sometime here too, and I wouldn't...
Fashion. That was a feature in Sydney, the San Domenico Stakes. We've got the feature coming up here in Melbourne. It's the Ori Star. Your totes are on your screen there now. From the top, early action.
Here's up into the gates. Off now. Playwright jumped awkwardly and hammered Valedictum at the start. Stavka seemed to jump well near the outside. A score showing plenty of speed is driving forward. Playwright coming over now is getting into a handy place, and Grand Duels was quite prominent up near the middle of the track. Course. They come to the 600-metre mark now. Stavka near the outside rail, sharing it with a score. Just off them, Grand Duels out wide, followed by Playwright. Great is Great. Translate the widest runner, followed then by Glory Hunter trying to weave through, and then came Shilling Valedictum. And back at the end was Illinois Girl at the 350 metres now. And here's Stavka on the outside rail with Grand Duels sharing it from Great is Great. Translate. Playwright dropping off a little now. It's now at the 200 metres, Grand Duels and Stavka on the outside rail. Valedictum picking up on the far side. Grand Duels just in front. Stavka coming at him hard on the outside. Stavka and Grand Duels, they're coming to the line, and Grand Duels kicks through and just gets it, I'd say, from Stavka or Valedictum, who's been a mighty run. Translate Shilling were next, followed then by Glory Hunter. Back behind those then.
Win by too far. It'll be Grand Duels off the largest percentage there.
He sure will.
Of course, this horse did run.
That's exactly right.
I don't know if Alf thought this horse probably got under the radar a bit. You know, having run third in the Newmarket behind Weekend Hustle, like he's got Group 1 form.
Yeah. Well, that's right. It's probably just a tad bit. Certainly does.
Okay. Now... Let's have a look at some fixed odds that are out now. And firstly up for the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, Weekend Hustler there. Favourite for the Caulfield Cup. Wow. He's a great horse. Sailor Gare, the Derby winner from Weekend Hustler again.
Yep.
The Light Fantastic, a lot shorter here. Obviously, you know, that's the plan with him. Princess Cope.
That's right, we've got to say that, haven't we? And it's Sailor Gare.
Efficient. Well, you haven't seen much of Efficient since his Melbourne Cup win. Weekend Hustler there again. Kibbutz Septimus. European horse, I think. And
one out to 35 to 1. Race 3, though, this is the Vane Stakes. What a good lineup here. This is a good betting race and a good race, full stop. Favourite will be number 10, Lord Tavistock. $5 on course. Catapulted. It was early moves here. 8 into 6. Back out to 7.
Range would be the only, just coming into a track that's in the slow range would be the only minus, but I would certainly elevate him from where I had him earlier this morning, just the way he presented.
Rian jumped okay, exceedingly good, got away very quickly, and Catapulted jumped very fast from the outside. Fernandina's driving up along the fence to join well back in the field, coming up towards the home turn. Lord Tavistock over on the outside, and then 2 lengths to Shasta Lane, then Apprehend, and Kurt was last of all. Exceedingly good on the outside of Fernandina. Catapulted 3 wide, 1.5 lengths Rian. Buckets behind the leader. Lord Tavistock right around the outside, starting to wind up pretty well, and Paddy O'Reilly trying to work clear. Fernandina at the 200, led from Exceedingly Good. Lord Tavistock is running on, and Noble Lust is putting in a run down the outside. Fernandina still in front. Lord Tavistock and Exceedingly Good in the middle, but Fernandina's under the web, hanging onto the lead near the line. Fernandina won it by a length to either Lord Tavistock or Exceedingly Good, about 3 lengths to Photo for 4th, maybe Noble Luster. Up there is Paddy O'Reilly and Rian, and they're followed in by
yeah, he's the favourite here, Black Paul.
Good speed horse, ridden for speed by Vlad Jurek. Lord Tavistock, outstanding performance. Follow it towards the Caulfield Guineas. Exceedingly good. Over-raced a bit yesterday, hung out. Rian didn't handle the ground, nor did Apprehend, said the jockeys.
Run of the day for mine, outside, you know, the obvious Lord Tavistock.
The horse has got nice speed. It took up the running. It dictated. And look, no mean feat either, because Exceedingly Good, it eyeballed it and really put it under pressure. Probably didn't suit either Exceedingly Good or the winner, but both can, Exceedingly Good can probably improve that a little bit. I certainly hope so. Lord Tavistock.
Similar times to the winner, the Quizette Stakes. For the girls, the 3-year-old girls coming up next, and like the boys race, a good competitive race. Fernandina won the boys. All right, of course, the JJ Liston comes up at 3:20 this afternoon, 3:25 this afternoon. Looking at
Belle Soleil and Woppet began very fast, and they settled in front of Viennese, and going up there is Test of Marriage pushing through to 4th, and then Tonic the Grey back to last. Woppet had the lead down the side, about 1.5 lengths in front of Belle Soleil. There followed Viennese deep out in 3rd, Tonic pushing up on the inside rail, and Test of Marriage to the centre. Hips Don't Lie was next from Viva Dubai, Miss Valley Road, and Berger about 7 off the leader. Around the turn, and Woppet led by about 1.25 lengths to Belle Soleil, 1 length to Viennese. These 3 kick away a little here on Hips Don't Lie, pull to the outside, and Berger the deepest in the straight, and Woppet kicked away about 2 lengths to the stablemate Viennese, giving chase. Further back then Belle Soleil, who's battling only, and Berger trying hard down the outside with Hips Don't Lie, but Viennese claimed Woppet, sprinted to the lead now, and Viennese came away, scored by 1.5 lengths to Woppet, a stable Quinella. Hips Don't Lie 3rd, Tonic kicked up on the rails for 4th, and then Miss Valley Road, Berger, a break Viva Dubai, Belle Soleil knocked up as 2nd last to go over the line, and Test of Marriage last of all.
Good return here by the sister to Schnitzel, and this is a track favouring the on-paces today with this.
He presented well in the yard. Okay, we're up to the running of race 5. Big quaddie here in Victoria today. There's your interim dividends on screen from Inglis after the running of the 4th race, the Quizette Stakes, with the
on-pace dominated races, both the 3-year-olds yesterday. Times very much comparable. Viennese, well-bred filly, valuable now. Beats Woppet, who's one-dimensional. Hips Don't Lie.
Berger, it was the horse that came to left of screen there to the extreme outside. I was bitterly disappointed in its performance, particularly over the concluding stages, where the speed was satisfactory and it had its chance to run on.
Well, I hope this filly can stretch out to 1,600 metres. I think she's, you know, obviously made a lot of improvement from her first to her second preparation, and she's got the pedigree to carry her forward, so she's very valuable now. I mean, that being doing it. And
we can't wait, Clarkie. How's Weekend Hustler and Light Fantastic look?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Rich. There's plenty of people looking at them to get their idea on how they've been pretty much as you'd expect throughout. Look, there's two runners here. Weekend Hustler, well, there's not two, but there's two in betting. 170 Super Tab, 180 here on course. Corporate's doing no better. Sporting Bet's $1.85. Light Fantastic, 410, 370, 460. On course here, 370. Wait on this bloke. $1.80 taken now into $1.75. Only two favourites in the last 19 years have won, but well, this is Weekend Hustler.
Yeah, it comes 1,400.
Look at his attitude, Terry, as he walks past. Nothing bothers him at all. He just takes it all in.
No, he's a very relaxed customer. He's got a huge turn of foot. He's going to be in.
It's probably one of the most popular horses I've seen since I've had my licence. That's about 12 years. Weekend Hustler has been $1.80 into $1.75. Every phone call we're getting in the office virtually is for this favourite. Very well.
So that abscess came out, and it did come out on Tuesday morning, gave them a chance to work the horse, and well, a veterinary clearance through from RVL, all good.
And Ross said leading into it, the most important thing was the horse's work leading into it had been spot on. That wasn't a worry. Fitness was not a worry, and that's the key.
Off in the Liston. Live in Vain won the jump. Kibbutz slow by about a length. Maldivian began okay. Let's see as they sort themselves out now. Weekend Hustler's improving up to about third on the outside. Light Fantastic let him go, and he goes back worse in midfield. The 800 and Live in Vain carving them out well. Leads by about a length to Jungle Ruler. 2 lengths to Maldivian. A length and a half Sir Slick. Then Weekend Hustler the outside. 2 lengths further back as Light Fantastic. Alamosa starting to make a little ground on the outside, and then came Kibbutz. And Zavit was a length and a half away last of all there to the turn now. Live in Vain a length and a half. Jungle Ruler. Similar margin away Maldivian. Weekend Hustler stalking that trio. Light Fantastic coming through on the inside of Weekend Hustler, but he's under a lot of pressure. They corner now. Maldivian raced up and went to the lead. 2 lengths away. Light Fantastic with Weekend Hustler on the outside. Rawutta had to pull the whip, and Alamosa's coming with him now. They come to the 200, and here Light Fantastic grabbed the lead. Weekend Hustler coming after him. Maldivian fighting back. Light Fantastic in front. Weekend Hustler trying hard, but Light Fantastic's going to beat him. Light Fantastic won it by a half a length to either Maldivian or Weekend Hustler. Then Jungle Ruler fourth and Alamosa fifth. Next to finish, Live in Vain, Kibbutz, Zavit and Sir Slick last to arrive.
We wanted something special, we got it, and we have a real star here in Light Fantastic. The race perhaps didn't pan out as Craig might have thought, but he gets the win in the end, throttles down and wins impressively, unbeaten. And what is ahead for this grey? What an outstanding performance. No excuse, I don't think, for a Weekend Hustler. Perfect run, couldn't. Something very special, Mick, to see this horse come back and beat Weekend Hustler fair and square.
Bit of a weight for age slogfest, wasn't it? You know, I got 3 weeks to my next run, and I'm just hoping that the horse pulls up good. It was a solid performance, no trial. But, you know, what do you do? It's race day. They're there to win, and got C. Newitt on it. He's not going to lay down. So I just thought I had the horse right for a good performance. And it's pretty exciting.
What was your gut feel, Mick? I mean,
first up, and couldn't have been a better performance. Great for racing. I just hope they keep doing the Bone Crusher. Our Waverley Star thing, but I need to be Bone Crusher.
Absolute single focus Cox plate fit without excuse from behind.
What a horse, Bruce. He bounced 650, and I was a little bit worried in this sort of ground whether he's going to have a gut buster, but the other horse was going to beat him all the way down the straight, but he's got a fantastic will to win this horse.
Pretty special, isn't it? I mean,
he really loves a dogfight, and that's what he got today. And it's round one to us.
Well done, Craig.
Thanks, mate.
Craig and quick in the day, he kept grinding to the line.
Yeah, exactly. And look, we've got a long way to go, and today's the Group 2 race. We'll peg him back, don't worry, in the Group 1s.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Brad Willer on his birthday. The Ross.
You know, we've got a long way to go, and I'm quite happy the way he's run, and he's pulled up good, and he looks super, and he's had that little bit of a setback, but I'm not blaming that, but, you know, he's doing his best work at the finish.
Beaten fair and square is great viewing.
I think right around Australia, Bruce. Light Fantastic. Weekend Hustler, certainly not disgraced in being beaten by Light.
Then Jungle Ruler.
Well, 5 times to the races and unbeaten in all 5 starts. Quite easy in the betting yesterday with an avalanche of money for Weekend Hustler. We'll talk about Weekend Hustler, Maldivian and the beaten Brigade Alamosa and Co. shortly. But let's concentrate on your horse here, Craig. His attitude seems fantastic to being a great competitor.
He's fantastic, Bruce. He's a pleasure to ride. He's a pleasure to have around the stables.
Shane, are these horses overhyped? Light Fantastic and Weekend Hustler. They're the best we've got obviously, and they're going to be the box office stars which we'll hang our hat on in the spring.
It's interesting. I was thinking about that during the week because they came on the scene all of a sudden, and we had an EI-affected year last season, and I think the Sydney Gallopers that Weekend Hustler was handling are yet to prove that they're A-graders for mine. So I was thinking that during the week. I was thinking, prove that they're superior to last year's Weight for Age star Maldivian, and I think those two aside, it was great to see him come back yesterday too, because...
Well, I wonder what Richard...
So happy, it's just not only the way he ran, but the way he pulled up as well. He's, canted back as if he really hadn't gone around. He's a lot more forward this preparation. And
sitting back and what him, here's the market for the Cox Plate. This is from Betstar. And with that performance yesterday, Light Fantastic went from 6 into 4.60, equal favourite now with Weekend Hustler. Maldivian 17 into 11. Alamosa, big firmer, 41 into 17 with Surmia.
Core field with horses right up on the pace. He gave Weekend Hustler a bit of start. And you must have been a little worried on the turn, Bob, when he was under pressure and Weekend Hustler looked to be going maybe a little better.
Richard, I thought he was gone. He wasn't doing it too well. 650 from home. He was off the bit. He was giving Weekend Hustler a couple of lengths. He wobbled on the corner. I really thought that was the end of the road for him. I thought he'd just struggle home, but he just doesn't know how to lose a race. So he gathered himself again and away he went.
Bob, you made a comment during pressure on Michael.
Yes, Alf. I think that he'll get beaten one of these days, so we just have to take it as it comes. He's got a goal, and that's the Cox Plate, and he'll just have to run through it, and one of these days he'll get rolled.
He certainly looks well placed for a Cox Plate now, though, you must confess.
Look, we've ticked one box.
Yeah.
I think that we've got a fair way to go.
Well, Weekend Hustler, I thought it was a really good run as well. If the horses had a few little issues coming up to the race and performed so well, there's obviously nothing between these two stars, and we're going to see, hopefully this sort of battle go on. Bob
in last week, and he spoke about Maldivian, and he warned us that it was fit, and it was a terrific run too.
Well, just an interesting history pointer. The last horse to win the Liston Stakes and Cox Plate in the same year was So-Called in 1978. Two horses have nearly done it.
Oh, so it's been done before.
Nearly done it. Pompey Ruler 2 years ago nearly done it, and Siddiston almost did it in 1990.
I'll tell you what, race 7, because this is a beauty also. Cochrane Stakes coming up here, and what a field. And you look at a Group 1 winner like Zorita at $21 and a Group 1 winner like Devil Moon at $16, and shows you the quality of the field here. Mimi LeBrock is 5 out to 6 on course. Princess Gisela around the $9 mark. Only totes good for it. Vivacious. Okay, thank you, Alan, confirming our market mover, Vivacious Spirit, as much as $5.50 bet this morning.
You'd have to say, Bruce, this has been one of the best back runners of the day in a very strong race, a very competitive betting race.
They're off. And Mimi LeBrock jumped away okay, so did Devil Moon. Princess Gisela and Lucky Diva began fast, and Vivacious Spirit was away very quickly also. Down near the inside, Royal Asher had jumped a lot better today. She's not faint acceleration and pins him to it. It's Vivacious Spirit, the leader, coming up towards the turn. Lucky Diva 3 wide, and Mimi LeBrock in the middle is third. A length and a half, Princess Gisela. Royal Asher getting up on the inside, and then Blazonry, Dane Julia, Devil Moon, Dorabella, Catachoo, hard ridden when they swing around the turn. Lucky Diva deep out, Vivacious Spirit closer to the inside, had the lead. Mimi LeBrock is coming after her, and Princess Gisela winding up, and Dane Julia getting up on the inside. Vivacious Spirit just in front. Mimi LeBrock grabs her, but in turn, Princess Gisela, she's sweeping home out wide. Devil Moon's running on, but Princess Gisela got up and won it from Mimi LeBrock, and Devil Moon charged home into third. Close fourth, either Lucky Diva, close up Vivacious Spirit, and Dane Julia. Not too sure about Way Queen.
Mares in form, fit mares in form. This has been beautifully timed by Robert Smurden to give him operation successful.
Yeah, that was, as we said here 4 weeks ago. We looked at
even Mimi LeBrock, Devil Moon, very, very strong, but you expect it to be.
Yeah, I think
important factor there.
Strong race, I reckon. Don't you reckon, Alf? This, when you go through the depth of talent in that race, in that company, I think it's a very strong race. I know it's a...
Have a look at him, Scenic Blast. This looked like an exhibition gallop come barrier trial come slaughter.
Away, Rich Success getting through between a bunch of horses to get into fourth with Scenic Blast on his outside. Sonic Quest on the rail not too far away with Barbaricus out wide. Then came Utterly Fantastic, a length Sound Journey, King of Ashford, strung outfield. Marwin Gold the leader from Gotta Have Heart, and they're 4 lengths in front of Friday Creek. Scenic Blast running on, followed by Rich Success Barbaricus. Then came further back in the field is Sonic Quest as they corner. Gotta Have Heart shot away on Marwin Gold. But now Scenic Blast is coming home very strongly. The Baldy Face Western Australian raced up. Sound Journey from well back is making ground. Gotta Have Heart is taking Scenic Blast off the track, but it matters not. Scenic Blast sprinting away from them, handling the ground beautifully. And Scenic Blast scored by 2 lengths to Gotta Have Heart. Barbaricus third, Sound Journey fourth. Utterly Fantastic next in.
There's going to be plenty of winners come out of this race who finished 6 or 7 lengths behind Scenic Blast, but he was awesome yesterday. All goes well for the money they plonked on him in the Cox Plate. Fantastic, Shane. You couldn't help but be impressed.
No, he's a very good horse. I don't know about a Cox Plate, but gee, I did like him. That race was up.
Last race, and Scenic.
Still the Smithfield RSL Club Premier Stakes, and it's of course at weight for age level Group 2 here. A small field of 5, but all quality, and the favourite is at the moment Triple Honour 250. Over the 1200 metres, small field of 5, all quality. Here's Mark for the call.
Ready, they're away. Good dispatch there. Mentality broke very quickly. Got its head in front early. Taken on now by the mare Hurried Choice. Then came Captain Back's Triple Honour's going to let them go and settle back in 4th spot. And Reigning to Win outpaced is about 3 lengths away last. Lengths off the leader, which is Hurried Choice. And as they come to the 600, it led from Mentality with Beeman starting to switch out 3 wide. It's coming up closer now, Mentality. Then came Captain Back's Triple Honour is tracking the leading trio. And Boss looks to be swinging on him at the moment, and Reigning to Win's back last of all. Mentality, Hurried Choice and Captain Back's almost made a line of 3. Triple Honour, Boss had another look. He's looking for Reigning to Win as they work to the 200. Captain Back's and Hurried Choice leader. Triple Honour sprinted fast on the outside. He's hanging in under pressure, but the Doncaster winner went straight past them with 100 to go. Captain Back's on the inside, but Triple Honour, a big return, wins it from Captain Back's. Reigning to Win third, and then Hurried Choice and Mentality's dropped out and finished last of all.
Triple Honour, he's come back in great order. The Doncaster winner here, resuming weight for a pre-4 for the final 600. Big sigh of relief, I'm sure, for Chris Waller. Rich?
Yeah, Chris. Well, he was Doncaster winner when he had the best of the handicaps and the best of the luck, beating Casino Prince. But he came back as a weight for age performer yesterday, given a positive, typical, confident Glenn Boss ride, beating Captain Bax, who was fit and in form, and Reigning to Win, who came back well. Mentality, we'll talk to Rich about that shortly. But Rich, as you mentioned many times yesterday, he took that step to becoming a weight for age horse yesterday.
Yeah, most definitely, Bruce, and that was the biggest question mark I had on him. He showed a magnificent turn of foot in the Doncaster, but you've got to remember he had 51 kilos. But he showed a magnificent turn of foot yesterday with the big weight.
Yeah, certainly did. Yeah, he's got gears, and it's a privilege to train a horse like this, and it's certainly, yeah, 40 or 50,000 at the English Classic sale. So, yeah, he just keeps taking the next step, and hopefully there's a few more steps to take.
You were pretty
after the Cox Plate.
I thought he was a little bit disappointing, but the winner's good.
The 3-year-olds going around here, a lot of potential in this field. Deswitude is the favourite at $2.60. Of course, he's 2 from 2. Deswitude for Pete Snowden, Karen McAvoy, and the rest have been drifting. The favourite for the Run to the Rose is Deswitude, $2.35. Also the market mover.
Start. This looks to be a touch stronger race, but he has looked most impressive at his. So they've loaded up quickly, and 3 of them to come under the road. They're away. And from the inside, Emperor Bonaparte jumped well. Favourite flew out of the stalls. Deswitude, it's going forward to share the lead with Royal Striker. Up there also Maybe Iron Moon Mission pressing on from a wide alley will in fact go to the front. And then Kremlin back in 5th spot, followed by Emperor and Predatory Price are about to be switched out to start a run. Entering the straight now, and Moon Mission a half in front of Deswitude. Then Maybe I creeping a little bit closer from Royal Striker. Further back Emperor Bonaparte, but Deswitude raced up to Moon Mission at the 300. Favourite took over, Maybe I trying to chase it down. Emperor Bonaparte and Royal Striker next. It's Deswitude in front. Maybe I's giving it a race. Maybe I raced up on the outside, hit the front from Deswitude. Royal Striker, Emperor Bonaparte and Barchiamore. Deswitude comes back on the inside. He was on the canvas. They gave him the 8 count, but he came back to win it. Deswitude beat Maybe I. No idea what's run third. Royal Striker, Emperor Bonaparte, followed by Predatory Pricer and Barchiamore. Then Kremlin, Moon Mission, Bilgola, Royal Thief, and last in Percussive.
That's one tough customer, Deswatude. He has now won 3 from 3. Karen McAvoy is out of an unbridled song mare, Martella, the family of the mighty mare, Maybe Mahal. Pete Snowden is now with Richard Callender.
Ball from Mark Sheehan summed it up perfectly. No need to say anything more. He off the canvas and wins again. Destitute, unbeaten in 3 from 3, Rich.
So interesting to see who takes that ride. Maybe I thought she was super, the filly by Red Ransom. Royal Striker. Well, he didn't have the best of luck at Kemmler when he was served up in front.
Very good horse, there's no doubt about that. Previous start he was ridden off the pace slightly. He sat sort of 3 lengths off them, showed great acceleration. Kieran McAvoy elected to go forward today, which shows that the horse is very adaptable. He was definitely headed on the outside by Maybe I, but I think it was more a consequence of him running around a little bit. He sort of wobbled in, wobbled out, and then Maybe I got a neck on him, and then when he balanced up, he regained the lead again. Don't worry about the second horse, it's a talented animal also at only its second start after an impressive winner at Canterbury at its first wet and dry. But I'll tell you the horse I was quite taken with down the outside there, Predatory Pricer. I thought its run at its 3rd race start was a very good performance. He was green under...
Market for the Caulfield Cup Weekend Hustler is favourite, and a dominant favourite over Maldivian, who's been a shortener. Interesting one there, I would think, would be settling in England. Of course, quarantine's going to play a role here, but Ebor on Wednesday. There's the market efficient favourite, Septimus. Quarantine will rule if they can get here. And Shane Damien Oliver rode at Deauville overnight in an international...
15 into 12 late, as Shane mentioned there, but at the moment, Von Costa de Hero, you can get 370 with Betfair, 340, and virtually unliable, this horse.
OK, Newitt has to really drive into him to try and retain his place near the inside. He's going to kick up, but Paper Cut's really working him. He's about a half in front. Acoustic Sound is Dubai to Sydney in the middle, about a length and a half away to Minnesota Shark, and Von Costa de Hero went back to last, but they've run it pretty quickly through the first half, and Paper Cut the leader, just over a length. Acoustic Sound. Fury niggled out on the inside, and then Flat Chat, who's hard ridden 4th now, followed by Dubai to Sydney. Captain Fantastic, Von Costa de Hero starting his run from the back, and Minnesota Shark is last. Fury looked to be struggling around the home turn where Paper Cut led. Acoustic Sound coming after it. Captain Fantastic runs on. Von Costa de Hero's got the last drop on them. He's coming home, and Minnesota Shark had thread through, and then Fury. It's Acoustic Sound the leader though with about 100 metres to go. Minnesota Shark out. He's swapping the leader. They come to the line together. Minnesota Shark dived at Acoustic Sound. There's very little in this. Maybe the Shark. 3rd placing, 3 lengths away, is another photo finish. And that's between Fury, who did rally, and Captain Fantastic, and then Paper Cut. Von Costa de Hero didn't quite finish off the last bit. And back at the end of the field together are Flat Chat and Dubai to Sydney.
Is he a maiden or is he a winner? Minnesota Shark looks to have got the bob on the... Broke a minute for the first 1,000. But they've got home in moderate sectionals here, 25.1 and 12.8. They went out hard. Paper Cut declared it on early. Dean Yendall knew it, said, he just doesn't handle this sort of ground. So there's a few mixed reports to take out of this race, I think.
Yeah, but...
top class colt. Defied the pattern of the day.
Good action horse.
I think he'll win it's an early crow, but I think he'll win the Caulfield Guineas.
There he is. He's got a great action. I love his flat action.
He is a very good colt.
Now, Von Costa de Hero, there he is in the Dali colours, the maroon and the white out wide there. Turned his head a few times in the straight. He plotted the last 100 metres. But I wouldn't write him off on that.
Well, not after looking at the pattern of the day. Exactly. After race 2, you thought, well, how disappointing was that? He had them covered on the turn.
Yeah.
But as the day turned out, it was hopeless out there. That was a goat. Turned out, it was hopeless out there. That was a goat track. It was a goat track.
A goat track? Goat track.
It was like one of them 2 bob tracks they serve up of a Friday night there at Moonee Valley, and they got the hide to have another meeting there, 7 metres rail on Wednesday. You look at the pattern of the 4 metre rail and the 7 metre rail at Moonee Valley. It's not up to Saturday class racing. That was absolute disgrace.
Well, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I think everyone agrees with Ronnie. Lee Friedman spoke.
We saw the boys earlier with Minnesota Shark and below expectations, laid under pressure from the 600 metre mark and failed to respond from that point. No abnormality with it. Also from race 2, Craig Williams, question over Von Costa. It's on your screen for the barriers here for our feature, the Group 3 Middies McEwen Stakes as Orange County moves up. Craig Williams up. Let's go to Greg Miles up.
Beauty Angels To go, they're racing now. Sharkbite missed it. Capiro away very fast on the inside. He's going for the lead. Lucky Secret began quickly. He's immediately outside the leader. And then here the Angel. Spectacular Saint trapped out. The leader about to go through the gap by a length. Lucky Secret second, a length and a half to Spectacular Saint doing it hard 4 wide. Around here the Angels, who's 3 wide. Morgan Dollar and Tarango. Next Orange County. Sharkbite 2 lengths to Dr. Nip and Tuck and maybe better. Capiro the leader. Lucky Secret stalking him. He's just creeping a little closer. Morgan Dollar's coming into it, and then here the Angels and Sharkbite. Capiro led around the home turn. Lucky Secret coming after him, and then a length and a half to Morgan Dollar. Capiro the leader. Lucky Secret wilts on his run. Capiro shot 3 in front. Morgan Dollar ran to second, but it's Capiro. Capiro, the horse of the year at Moonee Valley, takes it out by 2 lengths. Morgan Dollar 3 lengths away. Lucky Secret wilted but held third. Orange County got home to 4th, and then Sharkbite followed by Tarango. Further back in the field then was Dr. Nip and Tuck, maybe better. And then there's a break to Spectacular Saint, and here the Angels. He's dropped right out of it and was one of the last home.
Too sharp, too quick, rode the speed and just grinds a bit. It's been a replica of his previous 5 wins at this track. He's just a beauty, and
I reckon Leon's spot on. That's his best win today. He's beaten a better.
And he's shown that in on race day.
It's a long.
We spoke about it briefly yesterday. I think if we did run him in the Manikato, which we probably will, I'd say we'll probably just take a bit more of a sit on him and just try and get a little bit of cover.
All right. Well.
A horse that's a 2,400 to 3,200 metre horse.
Here the Angels looks in trouble.
Yeah, he didn't run well at all.
He was awful there. And
yeah.
Look, one thing I'll say about this winner.
He's a big fella, and he's the favourite here for race 5. This is the Show County quality over the 1,200.
Caroline, he was favourite when you just said it, and then you just looked away. Bang. He's out to $3 Hoystar, and well, the money horse is Bank Robber. There's been a lot of talk this.
Each of these two runners. A little bit of support for Vianetto, 13 into 11. Racing in the Show County. Hoystar went up in the air at the start. He lost a bit of ground. In fact, he's gone back to last of all, and Bank Robber flew out of the stalls and led from Bella Valentina. Savage Sevens and Kenny's World are starting to go up sevens, and then Kick and Chase, Vianetto, Oakland Lad, and Hoystar's about to come to the outside. He's just starting to edge up about 4 deep and make ground. It's Bank Robber the leader, still under a tight rein from Brown. Led as they turn by over a length on Bella Valentina. Then came King Rex, followed by Kenny's World, Savage Sevens, Kick and Chase, and Hoystar comes down the outside. Bank Robber the leader. He draws the whip. He's 2 lengths in front. Hoystar is starting to pin the ears back and go after him now. Bank Robber led 100 to go. Hoystar with the 59 tries to wear the margin down. I don't think he'll get there. Bank Robber's too good in the run to the line. Held on to win it by 3/4. Hoystar, Kick and Chase third. And then we've got Bella Valentina, Oakland Lad, King Rex from Savage Sevens, Vianetto, and Kenny's World has finished last of all.
Today already on a feature day, and Bank Robber Gay, I think he's the type of horse that likes to stroll, and
away there, Kick and Chase
through. Hoystar, without a doubt, 6 kilos giving Bank Robber. I think that'll be the last time Bank Robber gets the better of Hoystar.
But turned his head to the side in the straight, like I'm not sure what he was thinking about here. Hoystar, he's got his head turned to the side. And look, he gets worse. The more he sort of pushes him, the more he sort of turns his head out and drops his shoulder in and starts hanging in, and maybe he was just getting tired. What do you think?
Oh, look, obviously he got tired. That was an outstanding performance by Hoystar, considering how slow they went. This is the fastest last 600 of the day by a long, long way. And for him to...
This race, we're up to the feature race of the day. This is the Schweppes Warwick Stakes. Group 2, weight for age. We see the return of Racing to Win. He's $1.55 on course. He's won 5 Group 1s, this fella. He's now a 6-year-old. He's won 11 of 19 starts, and he's the only...
50 here on track. He's out to 160, 140 on the tote. There was a little bit of a nibble for Valedictum 8 into E. They're in, they're set, and they're racing, and the favourite Jump Well, Racing to Win. Oh, Crikey was probably the best out from gate number 2 and went to the lead with a Darf out wide, and Pacino is also away well. Racing to Win will settle on their back in about 4th or 5th spot. Gallant and it's inside, followed by Dan Zippo. They're now starting to be stoked up as making a run 3 and 4 deep. At the 500 metres, and Oh Crikey moving up to a Darf. They're finding it out with the favourite stalking them, Racing to Win. Bowman's got a big hold on him, but he's starting to charge out after them now. Around the home turn and Adafano Crikey about to be claimed by the favourite Racing to Win. Gallant Tess cut through near the inside and then came Dan Zippo. It's Gallant Tess out after Racing to Win. Bowman's got it out in the centre of the track. The favourite's just in front of Gallant Tess, who's brave on the inside. He draws the whip on Racing to Win. It's just a leader from Gallant Tess. He's doing enough to get home. Racing to Win a bit too strong for the mare and goes on to win it. Racing to Win first, Gallant Tess second, about 6 lengths to Dan Zippo. Then Valedictum Fiammacino, followed by Adafano Crikey. Newton's Rings was next and Pacino finished a long last.
Welcome back to racing at Warwick Farm. Welcome back to racing to Win. It is great to see this horse back. Winner of 5 Group 1s. And
well, it was a deserving battle, wasn't it? 5-time Group 1 winner Racing to Win, working hard. Perhaps not. $1.55 favourite beating Gallant Tess, who was brave. Good gap to Dan.
Gallant Tess, you're going to talk about the handicap again. We saw the Doncaster, you got a lot of weight. Is there a chance he might run in the Epsom?
Yeah, look, it's all relevant to weights. We don't have... But I keep going back to the Stradbroke, but you see a horse that's won 5 Group 1s carry 59.5 in a Stradbroke, an Apache Cat, and that's all I'm asking for my horse to carry. I'm not asking for him to be weighted out of it. And if Apache Cat can get 59.5 in a Stradbroke, I can't see why Race to Win can't get the same weight in an Epsom.
Where do you go to next?
He'll improve with the run, no doubt.
Well, his records suggest that he will improve with the run. He's not a noted first-up performer. He's more a second and third-up performer. And look, don't take anything away from this second mare. She come to win here, and her record says she's lethal fresh, and she produced one of her better ones yesterday. But she's just run into the wrong horse. He's a class act, and he looked enormous.
The last 50 metres, it was his class that carried him over the line, wasn't it? He looked a bit tired there, but he never...
I mean, but the trouble with this horse is that he's so well performed. It's hard for him to get well weighted in the handicaps. But in saying that, look, well, I suppose if he gets the right weight, he'll run. But that's up to John.
He had the one chance.
Has a good experience every time he goes.
And 2 Portillo, 172 and 3 for me. 172 and 3. Down the board just quickly. Samantha Miss. 550 to 650. Portillo's
Lass and Purpose. Really top-class fillies take out the Silver Shadow Stakes, and we have a quality lineup here.
With races such as the Wakeful and the Oaks and the 1,000 Guineas in mind, so we've got a very good batch of 3-year-old fillies in Sydney, and unfortunately they're all clashing in the same race, but that makes for a good betting race. And it's 7-2 the field, or 4.
Silver Shadow, Miss Darcy missed the start by a couple of lengths, and She's Meaner next to it came out running. It's one of the leaders with Love and Kisses and Sarah the mare. Not all that far away, Soho Secret, and so too Glow Lamp, and Flying Trist is now starting to rev up along the Volive, and Miss Darcy after missing the jumpers last of all. Well, Sarah the mare came across from a wide gate, and it's the leader clearly from Flying Trist running second. She's Meaner third from Love and Kisses and Glow Lamp, and then Miss Independent on the inside, followed further back by Portillo, and then came Sarah's Choice and One Thing at a Time. Sarah the mare the leader as they come for home in the Silver Shadow, led up from Flying Trist. She's Meaner and Love and Kisses are now starting to run on with Glow Lamp and Miss Independent, and right down the outside Soho Secret, but Glow Lamp raced to the front. Oh, there's a fall. 3 of them came down at the back, but Glow Lamp's in front of Love and Kisses as Samantha Miss is trying to bullock into the clear. Here comes Samantha Miss. She hits the lead. Samantha Miss got up to win it. Samantha Miss from either Glow Lamp or Love and Kisses and Soho Secret. Then Miss Independent, Lavished and Jasminka, followed by Showboard. And then we've got Miss Darcy, followed by Flying Tristan, Volive, Sarah the mare. She's Meaner and Portino dropped out of it. And we've got 2 crashing heavily at the 200. One of them is Sarah's Choice and the other one is One Thing at a Time. And both jockeys,
Briggs and Tim Clark, but she's returning great style, this filly. Of course, she won the Champagne Stakes, the only horse to beat Sebring, but just trying to see what's happening.
It was bolting. They're already here around the turn. Sarah the mare's in front, then Love and Kisses. She's Meaner, who was quickly under pressure. Now look at the orange cap going through. That is Sarah's Choice. Oh, that's where it happens. Tim Clark on Sarah's Choice. Tim Clark on Sarah's Choice. He tried to push through inside of Portillo, and then when he couldn't get through there, Portillo couldn't go on, and then he just ricocheted and come straight back underneath the legs of Dale Spriggs on One Thing at a Time. Is it Dale Spriggs? Glow Lamp.
He's added again.
Thing at a Time. Is it Dale Spriggs? Glow Lamp.
He's added again to that value. She's already a Group 1 winner, Group 2 winner now as well, and she'd also performed very well in races.
Either Glow Lamp or Love and Kisses and Soho Secret.
Well, what a win, what a return. At 1,200 metres, she was easy in the betting, but her class got her home. The $1.5 million filly betting, the $1.4 million maiden. Love and Kisses, good. Tim Clark and Dale Spriggs involved in that fall. Both seem to have escaped serious injury. Rich on two fronts, terrific race, great performance by the winner, and spectacular fall, but it appears both jock and horse is okay.
Role of the season, but I think she's pretty good. 58 yesterday, giving them a start. Winning under her own steam to some degree, so impressive return.
Rich, you'd think it's only a matter of time until poor little Glowlamp wins the race, wouldn't it?
Oh, been a heartbreak filly, but Clary's done a super job. It's one of Clary's big...
Good run through, and I mean, she's a class animal.
Isn't she? Now, just looking head on here, we'll see the fall here. We're one thing at a time, and Sarah's Choice hit the deck. They both seem to be going for the same run, and there was a bit of a traffic jam, and oh, it looked nasty there. But both Dale Spriggs and Timmy Clark sat up, and they were conscious all the way through. There, I think there was fairly quickly a bit of relief that neither horse nor rider was seriously injured in that.
Well, just on that, Richard, there is some bad news this morning on Tim Clark. Dale Spriggs is fine, but Tim Clark has broken his shoulder again. It was in scans and x-rays. He's going to the specialist again tomorrow or Tuesday, but he was out with the shoulder injury last time. It's now the other shoulder, and he was out for 3 or 4 months last time, so it's terrible luck for young Tim Clark.
Tim was...
She's always promised to come back as a 3-year-old, and I think she's in for a marvellous spring. She's always had Stayer written all over her.
What do you think, Hugh?
OK, countering off after that. The favourite here, this is the up-and-coming, another of the features of the day for the 3-year-old colts and geldings. This is the Group 3 event here, and Dewporth is the favourite, of course.
Whitefriars out to $6, and money for Dreamscape, as you said. The first starter, he'd want to be good to win this at his first start, but he's a nice type by Choisir. He's been back from 20 into 13. Now they're moving up into line, and coming up first is Dream and Geldings. Ready, they stand well and they're away. And Whitefriars and Atomic Force both came out of the stalls well, and they're vying for the lead with the Flame and also Oichi. So there's 4 stretched across the track early on here with the Flame going through to hit the front. Dreamscape railing up into about 5th, followed by Atomic Force. Then came Dreamscape. He's been able to get in on Whitefriars. It's running 5th one off the rail. And then came Gigino, struggling to keep up at the moment. He's being pushed hard. Dewporth was next from Admiral's Honour, and Relentless Lads 3 lengths away last of all. Well, the Flame is the leader coming up towards the bend. He's about 2 lengths in front of Aichi. Atomic Force being pushed along. Here comes Whitefriars starting to stake his claim now. He got pushed a little bit wide on the turn, so did coming down the outside, Dewporth. It's Aichi rushing up to the Flame. Dewporth coming down the outside, and Dreamscape's cut through near the inside. Here's a race with Aichi and Dreamscape and Dewporth. It's Aichi and Dreamscape settling down to fight it out. Dreamscape on the inside, and Aichi. There's nothing in it right on the line. Dreamscape or Aichi, and it's a photo for third as well between Dewporth and also Whitefriars from Gigino, and then Atomic Force followed by the Flame Relentless Lad, and Admiral's Honour has finished last of all.
Oh, it's a close photo, that one. Dreamscape on the inside, and on the Dewporth, he raced a bit wide. He was pushed on the turn to go through the gap, and he ran on pretty well, but in the end these two were well in front. I think maybe Dreamscape on the inside has got it, Rich.
If it has won, it's one of the best efforts you'll ever see. First up in a feature race in the up-and-coming stakes. It missed the start. TVN around Australia. Dreamscape will get it. Number 11 will get it. The number 10, I should say. 10, Dreamscape, the winner.
With this homebred Dreamscape, Peter Roble and Gay Waterhouse. And Gay, I think, is now with Richard.
To make of it, excellent debut, no doubt. Can't knock that. 12-1 it was. Dreamscape beating H.E. Dewporth. I think Huey might want to have that one over again. A half-brother to a horse which won at Port Hedland, formerly trained by Gay, in a horse called Whittingham. But, Rich, is it a case of seeing is believing, or these 3-year-olds are a very even bunch?
Yeah, look, I thought Dewporth, first of all, Dewporth, the favourite. Yeah, I agree with you, Bruce. He had to cover a lot of ground. He's still going to be right in the mix next Saturday in the Golden Rose. 1,400 metres will be right up his alley. The winner, unbelievable performance. I still can't believe it. Won $20 into 13, so the stable had a good opinion of it. He didn't begin that well. He's a lovely style of horse. And Aichi, the blinkers went on yesterday, but you got to remember it was beaten easy by its stablemate Destitute, who of course has won again, winning the Run to the Rose. Next Saturday, Destitute's the one to beat in the Golden Rose. It's going to be an absolute cracking race. And
overall. Well, I've got a job for Richard later today. Rich, 1:11.8 hand-timed, quickest of the 4 1200s, quicker than Bank Robber, easily quicker than Samantha Miss. I'd like to know it's roughly accurate. And if it is, I think you can trust it, and I think the first 4 were pretty good.
He's a good sort of a horse, a real good sort of a horse, and it's not hardly enough to convince anyone to have anything on him here, although he was 20s into 12s in the ring, so someone knew what was happening there. Taking nothing away from the 3rd and 4th horses there. Duporth looks a nice stayer in the making, and likewise with White Friars. I think he's come of age as well.
Marmalade. He's been the preeminent back to 2 weeks. That's what we need to get the quarantine done. Gee, I'd love to see this horse here, Duke of Marmalade. He's been the preeminent horse this year in the UK, highest rated turf horse in the world. Here he is going again for another Group 1. This is the Juddmonte International.
Pipe Dreamer racing now down into the dip, inside the final furlong and a half. Duke of Marmalade has got the lead to Phoenix Tower between horses. To the outside, Pipe Dreamer. New approach is only 4th. Inside the final furlong they go. Duke of Marmalade has got the lead by only a head. Phoenix Tower is giving him a race, a real race, but it is out in front. Duke of Marmalade, who's digging deep. 5 Group 1s. Duke of Marmalade, the best turf horse in the world.
Absolutely, 5 Group 1s for the season. Amazing, he actually flew in from Ireland to go racing at York on Tuesday night, sat in the tarmac for 2 hours. Plate first up. Not too many changes yesterday. Racing to Win was a firmer into 26 from 34. Samantha Miss, Spag Crobber and Galantess all tightened up.
So that's starting, is it? I can have 7 to 2 that Light Fantastic will start in the Cox Plate.
I know you love that, Steve. Rich, what are your thoughts on the Caulfield Cup, where you got Weekend Hustler favourite here at 480, Maldivian 11. No moves yesterday. Lord's Ransom 34, the 26. Might get you interested. $10 about Efficient's favourite here. Movers yesterday, Lord's Ransom 41 to 26, maybe better 51 to 26, all the good 151 to 41. Any interest in that?
Oh, give me another 10 points Kibbutz. I could be interested at around the $30 mark. Give me another 20 points, maybe better. I could be interested. No, I'm not.
All right.
Moving in New Zealand, the Group 1 today, so let's take you across to Hastings.
Can get plenty more with bookmakers. It's an honour roll, though, the Mudgeway Parts World Stakes, that in recent years have seen our very best win. Sunline, excellent in Sea Change, and also one of the best in the world in Starcraft, who'll win the 2008 edition. To call your runner home.
Racing in the Mudgeway. Princess Cope slow out of the gate. She was last. Ombre Rose has gone back as well with Bolgan Bar. The Veep has gone back, and Run Light Owl and Susian came out quickly. Getting a good run. Martini Red a little deeper out. Then Fritzy Boy on the inside. Keep it cruising. The Puka's a little wider. Bolgan Bar's on the move. Twista Star, Love Trista. Sterling Prince and Ombre Rose a long way back with Princess Cope and 2 to Run Like Owl. The Mudgeway up to the home corner. 500 metres to go, and Susian goes for gold. 2 lengths in front from Prince Carpstad. Who knows the inside? Erlander running on. Fritzy Boy, Martini Red and Bolgan Bar to the outside. And Susian hard to catch halfway down. Prince Carpstad's after it. Fritzy Boy and Bolgan Bar are coming home strongly down the outside of the racecourse. Prince Carpstad's gone up. Here's Fritzy Boy. He's letting go. Bolgan Bar's trying to get him down. Fritzy Boy and Noel Harris get the first of the Triple Crown. Bolgan Bar second. Prince Carpstad third. Then we had behind them and Susie and Ombre Rose running on from Keep It Cruising, the Veep Pod. Then the next is Ista Star. Sterling Prince, Orlando, who knows? Martini Red was a fair way back when they've hit the line. Princess Cope in front of those. And then we had Love Trista, the Puka, and Run Like Owl. He has measured up at weight for age. He's measured up weight for age. Group 1, Fritzy Boy.
Noel Harris defeating numbers 1 and 6. Princess Cope was in that.
Yeah, she disappointed, I thought, but she's only first up there. Look, he snuck up on us, this horse. He ran 3rd in the Derby behind Sailor Gurr. He's won 8 from 13, and he showed that he's trained on from his 3-year-old to his 4-year-old year, winning 3 straight. Nice horse.
We'll look forward to seeing him.
They're all boys. We've got 3 good girls going around in this race. Of course, Miss Finland beat Harada Sun 2 years ago. It has been a terrific race, and it won't be any different this year. Good betting race. Sugar Bay very tight on the tote, 250. On course 350. Hips don't lie, tight the tote 530. Bookies doing 7 at the 5.5. Cardinal Virtue 6 at the 6.5. Big odds on the Super Tab market there. Any protest important, but especially when it's second against first. Late action here for Who Begot You, as Alan Lascana reported. 550 into 460. Is levelled out at 480.
Yeah, Bruce, and this race will tell us how that fence is in the home straight too.
Now they're away. And Sugar Babe just reasonably out of the stalls. Away very quickly in the early stages, Baynak. Hips Don't Lie jumped very fast as driving up into second with Fernandina getting up on the rail, and then came Berger settling down fourth. Cardinal Virtue getting up on the inside of her, and Sugar Babe is out 3 wide next, and then a length and a half to Who Be Got You, who's rail at the 600. Baynak led by about a neck here to Fernandina. Moving up on the outside, Hips Don't Lie into third, placing around Berger and Cardinal Virtue on the rail. One to Sugar Babe and Who Be Got You needing luck to get out of a pocket, and then Amelia's Reason and Siderius. Fernandina rails through and heads Baynak around the home turn. Cardinal Virtue trying to come through, and Who Be Got You's getting up into a pocket. Wider Sugar Babe's coming on and has gone past Hips Don't Lie. Sugar Babe is after Fernandina, and then Cardinal Virtue, and Who Be Got You still not quite clear, but Sugar Babe has raced to the lead. Who Be Got You getting a late run, but Sugar Babe beat Who Be Got You. Gee, he was a good run second. Either Cardinal Virtue or Fernandina third. That's a photo finish, and then came Siderius. Next in, Noble Luster, Berger, and behind those was Amelia's Reason. Hips Don't Lie weakened out of it, and at the end, Apprehend and Baynak.
Well, she's come back a winner. That's the good story. The bad story is for those who, with Who Begot You, should have won. No doubt, just had no momentum at any stage, only got clear late. Take nothing away from Sugar Babe. This is made.
Little tardy out of the gate, but he seemed to have his chance in the straight. The other horses were a class above him. He was a bit green, and Fernandina does a great job. Lee Free.
Well, she's clearly come back well, Sugar Babe. She was the victor yesterday. The second horse should have been, but that's what racing's all about. Could'ves and shouldas and wouldas and didn'ts. But Sugar Babe beats Who Begot You out of the race. The thumps again for Hips Don't Lie, and Berger hasn't come up well, seemingly. Steve, Sugar Babe's good, but clearly the second horse should have won.
Yes, interesting observation, that, isn't it? You might argue that, of course, that other than being held up, Who Begot You had the cosy inside run throughout the race, and Sugar Babe was doing the work out wide. So I'm not sure that it's quite that straightforward. I think you can trust the form here around the first 7 to finish. I think we're all creditable performances. Who Begot You, terrific. And I think this is a strong form race.
It's a Cardinal Virtue.
Without question, Sugar Babe, look, it was terrific first up, got the right run, got the money that, and, you know, the result that everyone probably wanted, but clearly the second horse should have won. The third horse, don't leave it out in the future.
I'd have to agree that Sugar Babe, look, first up, Lee rarely has horses screwed right down for their first up run. She probably wasn't either, and she was probably getting a little tired in the last 20 metres, and the other horse, race fitness on his side, you know, was gathering her up. He probably should have won. He just got stuck in behind Fernandina and Cardinal Virtue there for a bit too long. He's a very good horse. I think he's a top colt in the making, Who Begot You. And I agree with you, Alf. I think Cardinal Virtue, only his second run in a race, he wobbled around like a drunken sailor in the straight, and he was still trying to get past Fernandina on the line, and he did. But, you know, I wouldn't... I think it was a pretty good effort from Sugar Babe, given that she will improve probably more than any of the others.
She looks tough. She looks tough. I don't know whether the other horse had race fitness on his side. He hadn't raced for 2 months. Who Be Got You?
Yes,
it was a certainty beat. He's the run of the race there by a long way.
A bit closer to racing than she was.
Find out. They're betting $2 win. Well, we're about to find out. They're betting $2.25 here on course. Bookmakers get their chance to take her on. She's never been good to them. Today might be the chance. 2.10 on the Super Tab, best of the totes. 2's on the Unitab market there. Naturally, she dominates the tote betting. Out to 2.30 now. So, look, this is the chance for the bookies. If they want to get something out of Miss Andretti once in their life, here it is. Against that, Commanding Hopes 8 into 7.5. Red Element 7.5 to 6.5. Back out best.
Yes, Bruce, there's not really much that I need to tell you about Miss Andretti. If it's the Miss Andretti that we all know and love, she's a $1.30 chance and she wins easily. If she's had enough for racing, well, we'll find out today. Great mare, and we wish her...
Anyone wants to back Miss Andretti yet?
No, mate, it's still drifted here, Bruce. Now out to $3.20. Number 9, Red Element, toughened even further, mate. It's into $5.50. Number 6...
Now $3.35 trading for Miss Andretti, and struggling. Markets to 117%, so it's right there. 2.30 on the tote, 2.20 Super Tab.
Moment of truth. Dwayne Dunn for the first time in the saddle. I wonder how she's going to go. We'll find out in just a tick.
Miss Andretti jumped pretty well down on the inside. Belmur got away fast, and so did Red Element out wide. La Chasseuse begins fast. And as they settle into stride, Monet Rules is up there as well. Settling fully, coming to the 800. Last Chasseurs goes to the lead ahead of Monet Rules and Miss Andretti over on the fence. Red Element posted 4 wide, goes on to find the lead. Belle Jardine at the end as they swing around the home turn with Coalesce. Red Element, the leader, coming around the bend from Monet Rules. Last Chasseurs, he's had to go for the whip on Miss Andretti. There's no immediate response down there. She's gone. Belmur is coming home well. It's Red Element, the leader, but Belmur coming after it with Monet Rules, and Misjudgment's got up on the inside. Belmur claims the lead from Red Element and Monet Rules. Belmur out wide, just in front. I think just wins from Red Element and Monet Rules. Close fourth, Jardine's up there, and Turfontaine got home, and so did King Johannes. Next to finish at the head of the others was Misjudgment. Road to Rock followed further back Blarneck, and then behind those was Coalesce. Commanding Hope never came into the finish of the race as they've gone across the line. Last Chasseurs has dropped out of it to be one of the last, and well, it would appear a long last in it, I think, was Miss Andretti. She certainly was when I came back to her. And Pillar of Hercules.
After the post here, Miss Andretti, looks a sad end for her racing career. We'll get a word from Lee.
Today, this is what we were worried about. That's why I've alerted people to the fact, and you know, she was pretty easy in the market. I don't think anyone really wanted to be with her.
So your recommendation to the Buckleys would be?
Oh, I think, you know, obviously retire her. But she's done a magnificent job. You know, we should remember her for what she was, not what she did today. But look.
Too itchy on the trigger, too aggressive, which is fine. But I actually said to him, you need to ride a bit like Dee Oliver. He didn't like that, so I'm hoping he did get offended by it. But
interest, Lee Freedman, to his credit, on the public record through the week, did have that pretty strong word of caution. She retires, 19 from 31. I've always had this theory that in order to be ranked one of the great horses, you have to have a strike rate at around that 60-66%. She's very close to that. World's top sprinter at her peak. So fantastic career, great performance. Disappointing yesterday, but I'm sure that many people...
Saddled up now, and he's ready to take his place, and we've lost one star today in Miss Andretti. Let's hope that Weekend Hustler lives up to all expectations here. He is a hot favourite, and he has had no trouble being backed by the punters here today. Sporting Bet Australia with one $200,000 bet on him. He's odds on. There's the first page of betting. You don't see that in the Group 2 race normally, do you? Nothing under $10 from numbers 1 to 8. That's on course and with the tote 10 to 1. Number 9, Weekend Hustler. He's $1.85. That's the best at the moment you can do there, trading around $1.95. Alamosa, okay, $8.70 in the betting. Scenic Blast, $5.20. The New South Wales tote.
Weekend Hustler's been very well supported, Bruce. Early on in the week we were $2.10, got very well supported. This morning we were $2. We took a bet of 50,000 at $2. The flux today have been $1.80 out to $1.85, and the money's come in at $1.85 now, and we've toughened him up again into $1.80.
Big one of the day, and the field is getting set here. The Memsie Stakes. Consider the last 3 winners: Miss Finland, Il Segundo, Maccabi Diva. They're off. Weekend Hustler jumped well, and Maldivian first to show out in the early stages ahead of him. Alamosa jumps okay and is posing right with the speed as they settle down. Casual Pass, the Slick and Scenic Blast are all up there. There's about 4 across the track here, so sorting out their lead. They're still boxing and dicing. Rawilla just eased on Weekend Hustler, and it's Maldivian holding out Scenic Blast. Alamosa, Slick out 4th, and then Weekend Hustler a length only outside Sailor Gear. Maldivian has the lead, 600 left to go. A length Scenic Blast, Alamosa, Slick on a wide run. One further back, Weekend Hustler. He's just in a little traffic at the moment. Ruby Scent moving up on his outside. One Tuesday Joy, and then Pompey Ruler. Coming around the turn, Maldivian a length in front of Scenic Blast, and Alamosa waiting on a run, and then Ruby Scent. Weekend Hustler, he's got into clear galloping room now. Peels to the outside. Maldivian led Scenic Blast. Weekend Hustler, he's hit the go button now. He's starting to wind up. Had to go for the whip. Still Maldivian with 200 to go in front. Weekend Hustler coming after him, and Pompey Ruler descending late. Weekend Hustler getting to Maldivian, and then Pompey Ruler. It'll be close, but Weekend Hustler wanted a long head on the line to Maldivian, and Pompey Ruler a cracking run first up. Alamosa 4, and Casual Pass has run well. Good run from the old boy. Sailor Gear got home beautifully. Tuesday Joy was next, and then Sermione Scenic Blast. He's followed by Anamato, Doro Valley, and then Ruby Scent and and Sir Slick is a distant last, and the champ is back.
Good on you, champ. Well done. It's going to be a hot form race for sure, but let's concentrate on the winner. Gorilla gives him a gun ride. He had to work hard to earn the victory, but that's the sign of a champion racehorse when you've got to lift off the canvas to do your job. Maldivian fan. Last time, but that's terrific.
Yeah, no, look, you know, he went in the last race with a few issues, and we thought he was fit enough to run, and he ran very well the other day, but the grey horse, you know, he took the shortcut, and we sort of went round the home turn like an old chook, and today he was on his game, you know. I said before the race, I said he's here to play today.
Even today, though, he's showing that downers, which indicates that you've got him on song for those staying races later in the spring.
Oh, look, he'll settle. He just likes to go to sleep, you know.
Yeah. But
it's a great horse.
How much improvement in him, Ross?
Oh, look, he'll just keep getting... It's gone, I think. He'll keep getting better as the distances go out, I hope.
Let's hope so. Good on you. Well-earned victory.
Yeah, Maldivian's certainly come back pretty well. He's a tough horse to get past, but the race was suited him the best, the way he races, and coming into the corner, we were sort of in an awkward spot, but we needed this, you know, a little bit of sharpness, which he had today, and then it was tough to line.
Again today,
just leading into his first run, that different preparation altogether. He's trained for a Caulfield Cup distance this time, and instead of an Oakwood Plate first up, so full credit to Ross, you know, where he's gotten this horse. He's given him every chance to be able to get the Cup distance, and he's, like you said again, the way he pulls up, he's only half tank at the moment. He's got a long way to go.
Again, it means a lot.
Hard-earned victory, 13 starts, 10 wins. Now the Memsey goes to his tally. Sensationally back yesterday with bets of 300,000, bets of 200,000. And some of those bets taken by bookies who didn't think he'd run the first three, beating Maldivian Pop. There's a raft of good runs behind, Steve, but let's talk about the winner.
Well, absolutely, Bruce. I mean, what he did yesterday I think was terrific, as I touched on at the top of the show. The fact that Brad was able to ease on him after he began so well, the horse comes back to him, settles, relaxes, and then goes again. There's not many horses that can do that. They would tend to get over racing when you want to restrain them in the early part of the race. He flattens out really well here as we see him in the middle of picture. Maldivian, very good on the fence. Pompey Ruler, of course, first up for more than 12 months, was also very good. And a couple of the staying horses behind were satisfactory, but at the end of the day, Weekend Hustler's second up off a slight setback leading into his first run, so just going superbly.
Ross, where's a clear option you could back up next week and take on Lot Fantastic?
Yeah, if he's your horse as well, we were thinking about we might back him up next week, and it'll give us 2 weeks to go into the Underwood, which I like the idea of that better than having to rush him from a mile in a week up to the 1800.
Yeah, that's been terrific. Horse of the year, of course, tomorrow night, and you made a very good point elsewhere. It might have been a bit flat going there tomorrow night had he been beaten yesterday.
That's right, yeah. We're all pretty excited with his performance yesterday.
It took a good horse to get past him, Bruce, and you know, he's second up. He was, you know, just fantastic today, and I think it's probably got something to do with the light autumn he had. So no, he's come back great.
Obviously looking forward to stepping him up into a trip which is more suitable for him now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the 1400 was always just going to be, they were going to be a little bit too sharp for him, but now when they get up, you know, up to past a mile and 1800, that's when he comes into his own.
That's the first time in 12 months we've ever let him off the bridle. He's always done his work and his trials hard on the steel, and turning frame, he gave me a bit of a buzz. He pulled out from behind Ruby, sent and went past him quick. Furlong ahead, I thought he was going to run straight past him, but he was just a little bit rusty. He'll definitely benefit from it, but no, he went sensational. Yeah, he ran good.
John's going to have a bet here. There's the Caulfield Cup. Would you be taking $4.40 now, John?
We've got some on it for $7 on Betfair during the week, so that was nice. But yeah,
6 into 21, but he's the favourite there. Cox Plate. What are you doing here? You had a bet in the Cox Plate?
I had something small on him when I was coming back from Whistler at Christmas time. Just when I heard that El Segundo was scratched, I had something small then. But
equal favourite, a lot fantastic. You might meet next week. You're not perturbed about that, Ross?
No, we bring him on.
Bring him on. Now here's the real cruncher here, the Melbourne Cup, the rising fast leg of the Triple Crown for you. Now, if you really like him here, $21, you've got to step up here to the plate, don't you? No?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
You haven't bet yet?
Haven't bet on the Melbourne Cup, not yet, no.
Okay, well, that might be a story, Steve.
Yeah, 20 to 1, that's, that's fairly tempting to me.
This way, if he gets there, he won't be 20 to 1.
No. I guess the other interesting thing is that only one horse in 56 years has won the Memsey and the Caulfield Cup in the same year.
And the Oakley Plate in the Newmarket.
Yeah, Malua.
I mean, he won the Grand National as well.
He is freakish, isn't it? We talk about this, the staying potential that he's got, but he races like a stayer now. He raced like a stayer when he won the Newmarket.
Yeah, well, that's just, you know, people said about him staying, and I always said, well, he shouldn't be doing what he's doing in the sprint races, you know.
Just to have a go there if you get through the Caulfield Cup and the Cox Plate.
All going well. If everything goes to plan, he'll run the Melbourne Cup.
And beat these horses. It was, again, a brilliant ride by one of the great jockeys. There's no question about that. Maldivian led, dictated. I thought his run was absolutely outstanding. And, you know, there's some... It sort of levelled him out a little bit, but, gee, one run that everybody looked at was Pompey Ruler that Craig rode. You must have been rapt where the position that you actually got from the gate.
Yes, Alf. No, the horse went fantastic. Yeah. We thought on his work and his trials he'd never been off the bridle this time in, so we was a little bit unsure how he'd go, but he ran fantastic.
Look, Maldivian was a great run, probably advantaged by the fact that the rail was out so far there. That does make the bend longer and advantages horses who obviously race closer to it if the track's fair across its profile, which we're not sure about at the moment. But the horse, Weekend Hustler, great run. When you're out there to be beaten, when you're out there in the one that they're all scouting for, it's hard to keep winning, and he keeps putting in the performances. And Pompey Ruler, great run first up. You'd have to be wrapped with that. I just want to ask Craig, would it
not be a party pooper or anything, but
we're
all Weekend Hustler, Weekend Hustler. He had the 1-1 there. He got out at the right time. He sprinted. He was good.
Job.
He was good. But was he dominant?
Those horses,
was he dominant?
A lot of those horses.
There were some half-fit horses there that went pretty good.
I think it's a good race. I think it's the highest quality race.
How good did the third horse go, Pompey Ruler? He went terrific there. And look, Maldivian, we're saying the inside's no good. He's nearly held him off.
Are we saying that? The thing is that
there's a lot of ticks in the race, and look, I can see it was a good win, but I don't want to be taking odds on next time the Weekend Hustler.
You won't be.
Well, please, you know.
You won't be taking odds on because you'll be getting a fair bet next time because you'll be taking on horses like Light Fantastic during the preparation.
We'll see. Look, I'm not laying him down and putting him down. I don't think we should be salivating over that win.
We're not
but
really.
I don't think it was an explosive performance.
I think that's narky behaviour from you.
Oh, probably is.
It's explosive, but I'm just...
Meantime, we've got the big one coming
out here for the feature race. The Group 2 Tui's new Golden Rose Stakes for the 3-year-olds over the 1,400 metres. I can tell you at the moment the favourite is Duporth, around $2.80. All-American. Now, we did hear he had an incident on the float on the way here. He has cut his chest. You can actually see the cut there on his chest. He does.
It's been off the map already. Duporth, $3.40 into $2.80. Oh, this has been a big go. 101. Royal Strike at $21. Stripper, $10 into 9.
They're loading up well for the running of the Tui's new Golden Rose. Racing in the Tui's new Golden Rose, and Rhino Chaser came out a length behind them. Royal Striker the best into stride. Up there early is All American vying for the lead, and the Kiwi Sufficient showing plenty of speed out of the gates. Then Maybe I. Duporth is back on the inside in fifth spot from Desuetude in the centre, and then Royal Striker. The pace is pretty slow. Right behind them, All American. Maybe I's off the track. Back on the inside is Duporth, followed by Emperor Bonaparte. In the centre there is Stripper, followed by Desuetude, just getting shuffled back a touch, followed by Indirect, and then came Chastelane, Barchia Moore. Well back was Rhino Chaser, and Tears and Cheers is back at the tail of the field. They're about to swing for home now. They've got a little over 400 to go. And Royal Striker on the inside is just a leader with Sufficient. Oh, All American had a bumping duel there with Maybe I. Duporth's trying to get into the clear. Emperor Bonaparte and Stripper are coming down the outside, and Tears and Cheers from last. Racing up out wide, Stripper. Duporth got the split near the inside, but Stripper's got a head in front. All Americans trying to recover after getting checked, but it's Stripper and Duporth. Stripper on the outside's just in front. Duporth drives at it. Stripper's in front. Duporth lunges. Duporth. I think it got there right on the wire. Maybe Duporth from Stripper in a photo. Then third, All American or Desuetude, followed further back behind them next by Indirect from Rhino Chaser, Barchia Moore, and then Maybe I, Emperor Bonaparte, followed by Tears and Cheers, Chastelane, Sufficient, and Royal Striker.
Duporth, Anthony Cummings takes out the Group 2, the $1 million Tui's new Golden Rose. Huey Bowman, a great ride to keep this horse going. Stripper hit the lead. All American was between them, and he's fought back on the inside. This beautiful looking colt, and he's been able to get past the filly there in the...
From Duporth, it got into a little bit of trouble as well, but number one Destitute should have won and won easy. Danny Nikolic was just a victim of circumstances.
He uses class, and you know, I believe he's the best 3-year-old I've ridden since Exceeding Excel.
There's a lot of traffic coming to the heavily backed runner. Stripper second, the unlucky Destitute. All-American in fourth. Clarkey.
And he did get there on the line, Dewporth to claim the big prize, $680,000, as Richie said. Heavily back favourite betting Stripper, and of course the desperately unlucky Destitute. But sometimes you've got to make your own luck. Huey, you would have been a good thing beaten on Dewporth, wouldn't you? Hadn't you got clear running from the 300-metre mark?
Yeah, I had a bit of luck there, Bruce, but I needed it because I had no other options. Obviously drawing one, and the plan was to... Didn't look a lot of pace on paper to us, and we decided that third defence was a place to be. But I was locked away in there under lock and key, but I was fortunate to get a run, and I didn't need much room because I had plenty of horse under me.
Huey, and she hasn't let us down. I'm having one of those runs where nothing's going right lately, but I got into the position where I wanted to be, sort of 3 pairs back. He did over-race through the run that I thought were the hardest to beat, and they've run sort of first and fourth, but when I peeled it off their backs, you know, at the top of the straight, just playing percentages, there was nothing there, and I had to go back to the inside, and the horse clearly should have won.
Had a Hugh, back to, let's have a look at the path he might take. Spring Champion Stakes, there's a market there coming up on October 4. Favourite over the girls, Samantha Miss. All American didn't have much luck yesterday. Barchia Moore's there, destroyed.
The next goal is to go to the Caulfield Guineas, and we're just having a look at what the best options in terms of getting us there might be. Certainly George Main's on the menu, and perhaps the race at Newcastle. You know, there's a few ifs and buts about all of that, just timing and how quickly he recovers, because he's gone week to week now.
Further, there was a couple of terrific runs in the race. What about Destitute? He was an absolute beauty in the race. He's a relatively inexperienced horse himself. He ran into a traffic jam. He got out at the last minute, and I was really impressed with the way he went to the line. I thought Hugh Bowman's ride won the race for Dewporth, and it was a good effort from Dewporth, but Destitute, it was a victim of circumstance. He just ran into a traffic jam, and then Danny Nikolic had to ease him across heels. You see him back there in the Darley colours. He's giving away a hell of a start to Stripper at the moment, and he closes her down a bit. Stripper was a fantastic run too, because she was 3 and at times 4 deep. I know she had cover, but she raced very deep, and she gave the winner a start just after straightening, ran away, and then just couldn't sustain the effort. So
but she had momentum in a slowly run race, which can be misleading. You know, I thought she had every hope, considering even though she did travel wild, she missed all that hustle and bustle when they slowed the speed.
It still takes a big effort round the corner to travel 4 and 5 deep round that corner, race to the front, and then hold off a horse that's had a softer run of the race.
Look, I have to agree.
And where he finished up in the race as well. Destitute has gone to the spelling paddock. Peter Snowden said, we know we're at a level back in the autumn that we can match it with these horses, so Destitute will...
Leg of the quaddy sees Typhoon Z easing in the ring, but $3.90 the tote. Bobadar, likewise a little bit easy on course, $5.20 for it. Over the page we'll find a couple of the other chances. And see Hurried Choice, well supported, $5.90 for its good value, cent per cent.
Open affair, Typhoon Z the favourite at 15 to 4 or 4.80, with Bobadar and Hurried Choice right on its heels at $5. Wetting under the saddle cloth quite noticeably. Malcolm coming up. Just about set now for the Conica Minolta Concord Stakes. Off they go. Very even dispatch, and Rahi broke very quickly. He's one of the leaders with Max Tune, and going up there also is Typhoon Z to put his head in front now, and Sequelin from a wide alley is starting to burn across, and he'll actually take the lead. Now Let Me Adam is back, and Spy's Aim last of all. Well, Sequelin has strung them right out here, led by a couple of lengths on Rahib and Typhoon Z. Let Me Adam is fourth from Hurry Choice and Max Tune. Then came Cent Percent. Bobadar switching to the centre of the track is starting to run on. Typhoon Z raced up to Rahib at the 300 metres, and they're a mile in front of Sequelin. Then came Hurry Choice, and further back was Bobadar down the outside. Rahib and Typhoon Z are stride for stride. There's nothing in it. Typhoon Z on the outside, Rahib the inside. Rahib is kicking back Typhoon Z. They hit the line, nothing in that. That's ahead, Bobber. It's between Rahib or Typhoon Z, and I'm not sure. Hurry Choice has flashed home to be in a photo for third with Bobadar, and then came Vianetto, followed further back by Thessio, and then came Falaise. Floop the win. And looking at the low angle, it'll probably be the outside horse, Typhoon Z. Number 1 is the winner, and that is Typhoon Z at $4.70 and $1.90. I think
Tim Martin won the first, he won the last, yet to beat a horse he used to train, Rahib, who's now, of course, in the Patnack.
Official James Bartholomew Cummings is a legend. The Cups King has been elevated to join Far Lap in Australian Racing's Hall of Fame.
Melbourne Cups he's won,
Bart Cummings officially became the second legend of Australian racing.
A man who has created an amazing record on the Australian racetrack and just keeps keeping on. Bart Cummings.
80 years young, Bart then turned on the charm as only he can.
We've known you're a legend of the Australian turf for many years. It is now official. How does it feel?
No different.
This must stack up pretty highly, Bart, and all the honours that have been bestowed upon you in a wonderful and illustrious career.
Keep going.
Cummings aside, cheers were for connections of Weekend Hustler named Racehorse of the Year. Damien Oliver of the Year. Damien Oliver, David Hayes and Bob Hoisted were inducted into the Hall of Fame, but Bart now sits comfortably in the legend status alongside Mighty Big Red. You join illustrious
Favourite for both the Caulfield Cup and Cox Plate, Weekend Hustler will have to create history to win the Cups double after receiving 55.5 kilos in both races. Only champion gallopers Mahogany and Octagonal have received more weight after their 3-year-old seasons, and Chief Handicapper Greg Carpenter says there's a good reason why.
As good as he is, hasn't raced beyond 1,600 metres and hasn't got that performance level at a distance to support giving him the same weight, in my opinion, that Octagonal and Mahogany received.
Irish champion Yates is again top weight with 59 kilos, while last year's winner Efficient has been given 58.
And those top 4 above him don't run, he's got 57.
That's true, but that shouldn't affect any penalty going into the Melbourne Cup.
But he's sort of carry it to win it.
Yes.
Gets in okay there. We haven't got him there. He's got 54 in both the Cups. Not sure if we'll get many of these internationals. There's the Melbourne Cup. Rich, of course.
Salote Stakes and Mimi LeBrock, they're $8 for the back at 40 to 1. We have a replay for you.
Across the country, 220, 230, Unitab 260, 310 on course here, 310 leaving the course. That's
race. Whether this is the one today, I'm not too
19
sure.
19 best with all the corporates, $27 trading.
And racing now, and a good start, and the favourite Devil Moon, one of the first to break the line. Princess Gisela away quickly, pins him to it, getting up on the inside, and Mimi LeBrock settling down 4th, and then Bell Centra followed by Sweet as they sort out their order. Past side Christmas, Translate second last on the rail, and Dane Julia brought up the rear. Well, Devil Moon has had a pretty easy run at the 600 metres, won't she be hard to beat? A length in front of Princess Gisela coming around the home turn, pins him to it, deeper out, getting up to 3rd around Bellini Rose and Bell Centra following the leader. They were being trailed then by Bank to Fortune and Mimi LeBrock, who were both held up for runs, and Highfalutin making ground along the fence, and then Blazonry. Devil Moon at the 300 is sprinting for home. Princess Gisela staying on with her, and Bellini Rose is running on down the outside. This 3 clear from Mimi LeBrock. Devil Moon passes the 200, a length and a half in front. Bellini Rose gives her a real race, and Mimi LeBrock flashing home. Bellini Rose hit the lead now. Mimi LeBrock, she's scorching at the line. They hit it, and she's got there. I think Mimi LeBrock grabbed Bellini Rose to win on the last stride. Either now 3rd, Dane Julia flashed home, Devil Moon weakened. Princess Gisela is up there, and also Eldana made some late ground. Then further back in the field was the Mart, Translate, Highfalutin, Surfside Christmas, Blazonry, pins him to it, Bell Centra, and Maloose.
No problem with the photo here, straight up, 2 wins. Mimi LeBrock, no.
Left, right and centre, and that was a big win by that mare. She gave Bellini Rose 3 1/4 lengths at the 200 and has been able to...
Well, Devil Moon couldn't go back-to-back. Michael Rod could. He rode Devil Moon last year. Mimi LeBrock yesterday chasing down $1 million in prize money. Now she's worth more than that. Bellini Rose 3rd in the race last year.
There's the winner, Mimi LeBrock, middle of picture, of course. Bellini Rose got to the front in the blue, 3 from the right. Devil Moon, well, she was second up. It was the fastest run race of the day. She was second up off an aborted autumn campaign. I'd be a little forgiving. Mimi LeBrock, terrific. Dane Julia, outstanding. Given that the first 3 were all in the firing line throughout, and Dane Julia comes from last, terrific performance. Lots of good runs.
But, pretty good race.
Okay. She's a good mare, that Mimi LeBrock. She started as a 2-year-old, and as a, she's doing it now, still doing it. I just think she's a beauty.
And when Bart...
Going around in the Danehill Stakes, as I said at the moment, Time Thief, this beautifully related, of course, well, there is related down the bottom for Bart Cummings at $7, but Time Thief, this beautifully related colt, is at $4.80, and the favourite won first up run. So that's the state of play for the Danehill Stakes, the Group 3 for the 3-year-olds in around 17 minutes. Of course,
There's a moving up here for the Group 3 Danehill Stakes. Let's go to Greg Miles to call the action.
and her quote all the way through at the $5 mark. Racing, and Augusta Proud jumped pretty well. Away fast was Aichi and Time Thief, and as they settle down, St Culper and Carnero come over their heels as they race out towards the grandstand side. Exceedingly Good is fighting the lead on the outside rail ahead of Augusta Proud, Aichi and Fury out about Nakani's on the inside of him. Time Thief pushing up in the centre, then Carnero and St Culper at the end. They're coming along to the 500. Exceedingly Good the leader right against the outside rail, led in front from Augusta Proud, Fury, Aichi up the middle, and related as the deepest runner. Georgie's Boy coming inside of him. Nakani's held up for a run. Time Thief searching for a way through, and Amelia's Reason on the outside rail. Aichi has raced up at the 200, goes to the lead. Time Thief gets the split, comes after him, and then Nakani and Exceedingly Good. Aichi in front. Time Thief the danger at the 100. Aichi by a neck. Time Thief gradually whittling away at the margin as they hit the line, and it's close here between Aichi and Time Thief. Not much in it. Nakani 3 lengths away third. Georgie's Boys up there with Exceedingly Good and Carnero for fourth, and just behind those then was St Culper, who made some ground, and further back Related, Fury, Augusta Proud tied badly today.
The photo, Time Thief desperately unlucky, I think, going under here because it was held up at a vital stage as Aichi gets the run. Here you go, 6. Aichi gets it for Peter Snow.
The inch in the yard, fabulous. Here's the ground action over the concluding stages with the interims on.
Yesterday, first two, as you say, ran away from the others. Cody didn't have the clearest of runs and was okay, and Carnero in those dark colours, second from the right, has run pretty well. The winner was good confirmation of the Sydney form, particularly around Desuetude and Dreamscape, of course. So impressive, the winner, sound the runner-up, and Carnero, I thought, was also very good.
Yeah, it was good. Look, I felt...
I'll back it at some stage.
One thing it tells me, I was excited about this race, but the Melbourne form's pretty ordinary. A little homebred, ugly little B plus grader.
I think he's better than that, mate.
See,
I think you're forming that opinion too quickly. There you
are.
I
know Dewporth had put about 6 lengths on him. His stablemate Destitute had put 5 on him.
Maybe not in that race up the straight.
I don't know. I'll go. The second horse looks a nice horse.
Do you know,
Time Thief.
To give me an estimation here, how much do you reckon that head result actually cost Darling? One horse is $1.5 million colt in a Group 3 race at his second start, and the other's a gelding. What do you reckon it's cost?
Into the yard for the Maccabi Diva Stakes. As we've said, there are a lot of horses resuming. Fission, of course, the Melbourne Cup winner. You've also got Master O'Reilly from the Caulfield Cup, and a number of Diva Stakes, of course. Weekend Hustler, the return bout with Light Fantastic. At the moment, it is, in fact, 17 minutes from start time for the Group 2 race. In SA, she's 20 to 1.
He won the Memsey. 3 Memsey winners have gone on to win a Caulfield Cup. Pretty useful. Comic Court, Lord, and the first winner of this race, Alungi, back in 1948.
Beautifully clean-winded horse. Wouldn't have known he had a hustler, but I'd expect him to go well today.
Well, fantastic. We know he'll go well. It's a very distinctively marked horse. 250 at the 290. He's been quite easy on course. Mick Price and Pompey Ruler and Craig Newitt team to win the race back a couple of seasons.
It has been for Weekend Hustler, no doubt. $2 when we first came up with markets, came into $1.90 before today. We took 100,000 at $1.90. It's been $1.85 into $1.80, back out to $1.85. We took another 100,000 at $1.85. Mate, they just keep coming for it. They're just starting.
So there's 5 to move in for this great battle of the Maccabi Diva Stakes. Reva Sand coming along to her place. Racing. And Weekend Hustler jumped well. In the early stages, he's immediately trying to find the lead, but India Gloriosa kicking up on the inside of him, and Light Fantastic had come across. He's quickly third outside Zarita as they settle into stride. 3/4 to Weekend Hustler, a length and a half to Light Fantastic, so Newitt can track everywhere that Rawilla goes. Zarita on the rails, 2 lengths Reva San at the 800, 2 lengths Master O'Reilly, Laturio, Kibbutz inside, Dealer Principal, and a length Efficient. As they sweep to the turn at the 600 metres, goes. Indio Gloriosa narrowly. Weekend Hustler winding up the pressure. Takes the lead just before the turn. Light Fantastic is still a length and a half behind him. Zarita on the fence, and then Reva San and Master O'Reilly in the straight now. And he clicks up the Hustler. He got to Indio Glorioso. He hasn't kicked away on Weekend Hustler yet. Coming after him, Zarita. Light Fantastic's under pressure. Weekend Hustler's looking good at the 200. He opened up the margin. He's 2 lengths Zarita. Light Fantastic can't get there. Hale, a real champion at the 100. Weekend Hustler by 3. Zarita holding second, but Weekend Hustler all too good. Beat Zarita easily. Latorio flashed home. A great third. Light Fantastic fourth. And then they've lined up Master O'Reilly and Efficient. The 2 cup winners finish alongside each other. Indio Gloriosa and Kibbutz trailed in then by Dealer Principle towards the end. And at the tail was Reva San. And the Weekend Hustler that we all came to see has delivered in spades.
As safe as houses, Weekend Hustler absolutely dominates the Maccabi Diva Stakes. Positive ride by Rawilla.
Light Fantastic had his back. He had a gut buster the other day. He won't be beating Weekend Hustler any time this year. And Weekend Hustler strolls away. Latorio does it.
You knew what you had.
No, well, this week we've had incident free with him, and the run the other day done him good, and we were quite happy with his work on Tuesday, and he done a little bit Thursday, and Kent around this morning, and he was bright, and I couldn't see anything beating him.
Such an adaptable type of horse.
John Bass had a magical ride with this horse as the crowd gives him a grand ovation as he comes back and Bruce is with John.
It's really cruised today.
Funny, Bruce, you always get asked about nerves, and today was the most relaxed I was ever at the races, and thankfully you've seen the way he went around to the gates, he was too, and it was just never in doubt from the moment we jumped.
And that dash was back to, or you had to pinch yourself at times now?
Well, Bruce, I've been pinching myself since the Caulfield Guineas. I remember saying, this horse, I'm telling you, is that good, you could set him for a Lightning first up or go to the Melbourne Cup next year, and my opinion's never changed, and nor has it Ross Clint's and Margaret's and all the owners. We've all known how good he is.
Certainly the #1 horse in Australia, and isn't it interesting how the public at large has rallied to him? You might have thought the betting would be a little more even on the Maccabi Diva yesterday, no, but the punters and the fans certainly rallying for Weekend Hustler.
Within that footage there, you can hear the crowd getting involved in that great win. Sensationally backed again. He was a bookie's nemesis, a punter's pal. $1.85 favourite, home in 45.6. The sectionals are great. It might look like a dash home, 33.52 there. We'll analyse those behind him, but Steve, you've just got to admire what a brilliant horse he is.
No doubt, Bruce. Admittedly, it was a slowly run Maccabi Diva, but we did what we would expect him to do, and he did it stylishly, and he did it every bit as authoritatively as you would expect him to do. Commanding performance. Much has been talked about Malua, of course, going back to 1884, winning the Oakley Plate, the Newmarket and the Melbourne Cup. Malua got beaten in the Caulfield Cup. I don't think Weekend Hustler will. If he gets to the post in good shape, I've got no doubt he runs the 2400, and what we saw yesterday was just terrific. Settle.
That's all good. No, he didn't have any excuses, Bruce. He just the first part of the race, I was got in on a nice spot, followed the eventual winner, but when they quick and come into the corner, I just one batted a bit.
So what do you tell Ruler? Steve, a lot of good runs behind, obviously, Weekend Hustler. I suppose the queries might be Light Fantastic, Dealer Principle and Kibbutz.
Yeah, I think that's fair comment. Efficient, obviously, was terrific. Master O'Reilly was very good. Light Fantastic, I'm not sure. He was certainly disappointing. At the 200, he was alongside Zarita. She skipped a length and a half away from him. Maybe he was flat, maybe he was second up. I'd be a little bit forgiving. I'm not going to condemn a horse on one flat run. And he was just a bit flat. And we see horses do that. He likes to do that. But the other thing that I thought was interesting this week was that in not quite a last-minute decision, but in something of a change of mind, you decide to back up 7 days later. Not too many horses, I think, are that adaptable that you can just say, bang, well, that's what we'll do now.
Look, if we decided to put him into a sprint race next week, he could do that. That's how adaptable a horse is, and people don't understand. This horse is so unique and so different, it's very hard to explain why or, the reasons behind it, but truly he is so different.
Does that come to athleticism?
Yes. Where were all the detractors at the races yesterday? Did you run into any of those people who wanted to bag him and wanted to say he's not a real champion, that he's not a superstar, and that he's that he had some injury problem? Did you find any of them at the races yesterday?
No.
They'd all disappeared?
Really. No, they all disappeared. Look, he was genuine, and he is a very good horse. Like, you know, first up he was beaten, but gee, you know, Ross has always said that he's got bigger fish to fry later in the spring. And, you know, look, it's going to happen. There's no question about that. They're talking about a Caulfield Cup. Look, he's well weighted in a race like that. But I'll tell you what, Zarita, I thought off a very, very slow speed was very good and overzealous. But one thing I want to say about Light Fantastic, I wouldn't be too critical because I just don't believe he found his comfort zone yesterday, and the slow tempo didn't suit him one iota. He's picked up and dashed a little bit better off much faster run races than a slow run race like that yesterday.
And that's the difference between the two horses too.
Well,
one horse makes his own luck and can accelerate when he needs to. He's got that weapon in his arsenal. And on yesterday's performance, and it's a bit hard to judge any horse on one performance, but it appears as though Light Fantastic doesn't have that weapon.
But Richard, the only thing...
He didn't in 33 and change there, but... he was impressive, but what do you expect when they walk and a sprint home? Like this horse has performed down the straight in six furlong races.
That's his star quality.
That is his star quality. Exactly right. But look at these. Look at the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup winner from last year, charging home late here. Efficient and Master O'Reilly. That was an enormous performance from both of them. Littorio. I want to see Littorio win a race. He's been a pack chaser all his life.
He'll win one.
Yeah.
And when he does win one, he might win a big one. It'll give him the confidence to win a big one.
He'll win a big, long handicap. Now, I don't know which one, but he'll win one.
I dare to... Weekend Hustler blew them away. He's dominant for the Caulfield Cup at 3:20 now. Of course, Maldivian last year ran 2:40, or didn't run, went off at 2:40 before being scratched at the barrier. This horse could get even tighter, you'd think.
Well, you would think so. If everything goes to plan,
the way he's going, he's going to be a very short price favourite. Cox Plate, well, he's secured that favouritism pretty swiftly yesterday. Yes, Rich?
I noticed in the winning post club.
Cox Plate.
Well, that $21 in the Melbourne Cup's gone off. We should have taken that last week. We were speaking to John Bath about that, one of the part owners. Into $11 or so now for the Melbourne Cup. $13 there, $7 a fish, and he ran well yesterday, of course. So you're thinking if he wins the Caulfield...
Comes up next. Let's have a look at the market here for the Bobby Lewis, and it's $4.50 the field on the tote. That's Grand Jewels, but this is a wide race, and the bounce back $7.50 out to $8.
And $9 for Swick, who was runner-up last year, behind Bonhoeffer. They both line up, comes up into the stalls. And we've only got about 4 or 5 to get set now. Orange County comes up into the gates. Ready and racing. And Grand Deals jumped away pretty well from Serious Speed, and Sharkbite got out fast with Gabardon, and Orange County going quickly towards the outside rail as they all come over this way. Swick edging across, he's going over the heels towards the tail, and Published Sharkbite. Next in the field was Catachuchu with Alexander of Hales on his outside, and then Gabardon going for runs between horses. They're followed then by Orange County, Stickpin well back on the outside rail. Swick hard ridden at the moment, marching out in the middle of the track with Arbitration, and the Jackal had dropped out to be last, nearing the 300 metres now, and Publishing went to Grand Duels very quickly. Tesbury Jack under pressure, not responding, and then Orange County, Serious Speed, Sharkbite coming, and Bonhoeffer trying to weave through. Publishing again tackled by Grand Duels, and Bonhoeffer got out the heels, and Orange County on this side. Grand Duels fighting tremendously though, with Bonhoeffer driving, and Bon does it again. Bonhoeffer beats Grand Duels or Orange County. Publishing close up, and then Swick. They were trailed further back in the field by Gabardon. Sharkbite, Serious Speed. The Jackal made some late ground. Arbitration marching. Alexander of Hales trailed by Stickpin, Catachuchu, Friday Creek. Tesbury Jack drops out. He's one of the last over.
Welcome back, Bonhoeffer. Won the race last year, lost all his form in the autumn, back in the spring, and he wins. And it's a brilliant performance and a brilliant ride by Vlad Jurek manoeuvring through.
How did he get this?
Wow.
What was your gut feel? Hopefully it's spring's his time of the year for you.
I hope so.
Yeah, show us your fingernails there. You got the
close up, and then Swick.
2. Well, he does do it again, and the spring might be his oyster, but and amazing. When the more you watch it, the more you've got to admire the horse and the ride, Wendy.
The ride was just sensational. Vlad knows this horse inside out and back to front. He has always ridden an excellent race on this horse and continued to do so again yesterday.
And happy birthday, Vlad.
Vlad cut inside. Orange County might have done him a favour here. That's the winner, of course, in the green, just obscured behind the grey now. Vlad comes to the inside middle on the winner. He really quickens there. And isn't it interesting now? He's well off the fence. Why do these jockeys have this paranoia about wanting to put their own lives at risk by bunching to within 3 or 4 horses hard against the grandstand rail? It's an absolute nonsense. They'll kill each other one of these days. In the UK, they're happy to spread across the track. I don't know why they do it.
I don't know, Rich, you watching that. Terry Bailey was quite vocal about straight track racing yesterday, but well, Vlad was able to weave the right path, but it is hard to...
I think he thinks.
I thought... No racing, of course, yesterday at Randwick. There was some frantic discussions, Richie, in the morning to try and reschedule the feature races with a Kensington meeting coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah, well, originally, Clarkey, the first representative on the press yesterday morning said they were going to try and transfer the Furious and the Ming Dynasty to Tuesday and leave the Chelmsford and the Tramway out because they were small fields. It was the Chelmsford Stakes Day. It wasn't the Furious or the Ming Dynasty, which is a listed event. Common sense.
Well, you don't like horse racing.
Yep, we're on the course proper, and it's a heavy 8 on the course proper. The Kensington track, a slow 7, a heavy 8, and we won't know how it'll play until we're there. But isn't it great to be back at Randwick, and great to be back on one out to 101. Triple Honour. There was $1.70 everywhere this morning. No one wanted it. It's opened up $1.50 here and has been untouched. Gallant Test, $4 into $3.80. Second.
So let's see if he's mended his manners that way, but he did hang in quite noticeably the other day. Gates are back, they're away. Anakov missed it by a neck and has soared along early to try and pick up some ground. Favourite jumped out well, Triple Honour, and Anakov has now gone through after missing the start to in fact take up the running. Kishkat's on its outside, and Gallant Tess is now third, Triple Honour next, and Fia Machino, the Derby winner, is back last of all. No change in the order. Inside the 800 metres, Boss looks to have come away from the fence on Triple Honour, and he's right on the back of Gallant Tess as they come up towards the 600 where Anakov led, but it looks like it's on sufferance at the moment. Kishkat is on its outside, and Anakov's being given a smack with the whip. Gallant Tess is next. Triple Honour about 4 lengths off the lead. Now Boss just gives him a slap down the shoulder as they start to get busy, and Fia Machino last of all. Anakov heads up for the judge in front. He hasn't moved on Kishkat yet. Gallant Tess was next, and now Triple Honour starts to get revved up on the outside. He wants to hang in, and Kishkat's the leader. Gallant Tess is second. Triple Honour a length away. Boss is forced to go for the stick. Gallant Tess has hit the front with 100 to go. Triple Honour will have to dig deep. He's coming on the outside, but Gallant Tess is holding him, and Gallant Tess has edged out the favourite. Gallant Tess has beaten Triple Honour and Kishkat, then Fia Machino, and about 5 lengths away last of all, Anakov.
4 winners in a row for Jeff Lloyd. Gallant Test takes out the Group 2 Chelmsford, lowers the colours of Triple Honour. Kishkat third.
Joining that roll of honour, including the likes of Tulloch, Kingston Town and Lonroad.
The George May, but look, hats off to the winner, Gallant Tess. She'd run racing to win to a short margin in the first up start there at Warwick Farm, the Warwick Stakes. Tragic, of course, and bad news for Sydney Racing with Racing to Win going and missed last weekend and won't race again this spring carnival. But those two, they'll clash again in the George May.
Coming up with our second feature, the Group 3 Tramway, coming up very shortly in about 10. The Group 3 on a heavy 8, Rich.
Yeah, got to have Heart's been well back. 650 into 550 with the bookmakers. Dan
90 into 175. Got to have Heart is at $5.40, $6.50 into $5.50 back to $6. Nearing the 600 metres, and Got to have Heart's the leader, with Bank Robber starting to close the gap now. He's only about a half a length away. Behind them, Kick and Chase, and then Bellagio win on the inside from Vecchia Roma. Xavier's in the centre, and Dan Zeppo back last of all, about 7 off the lead and being hard ridden, where Bank Robber is striding up to Got to have Heart, and these two race away about 3 lengths on Kick and Chase. Then came Vecchia Roma. Bank Robber on the outside. Shin hasn't budged a muscle yet, and down to the 200 he lets it go now, and away goes Bank Robber. Shoots away from Got to have Heart. Kick and Chase runs on bravely into second spot, but Bank Robber's going to trounce him in the tramway. He comes on for an impressive win by 2 lengths on Kick and Chase. Third, Vecchia Roma. I think it nailed the other one, Got to have Heart, right on the line, and then came Xavier, followed by Dan Zippo, and last in was
75.3 for Blake Shin. 4.76.
She's been well back. $9 into $6 here. Glow Lamp is your market mover for the Group 2 Furious Stakes. Mark, Samantha Miss, your second of your specials, looks hard to beat, and she's a good things price.
Yeah, she's a little bit tight, but looking at her jockeys today, odds on the tote 180, but in the ring it's $2.20. We've got $7.60 for Love. Yet now the fillies are away, and Camilsey broke well, so did Love and Kisses, and Gold Lamp is going up on the outside. Samantha Misses dropped back to last here as about 6 horses vie for the front, and Love and Kisses went through to hit the lead with Camilsey kicking up on the rail, and Glow Lamp is still out wide, and so is Showboard going up about 3 deep. In the centre, followed by Flying Trist, and then came Lavished, and Samantha Misses back last of all. So it's Showboard in front as they lead the 600 behind them. There'd be about 8 lengths first to last, and Samantha Miss, the favourites, back last of all. Bowman's now got her into the clear, but gives away a huge start as they turn, and it's Showboard in front from Love and Kisses, who looks a menace on the outside. Camilsey got the rails run, and then Samantha Miss and Glow Lamp, who are starting to come on the outside. Camilsey and Love and Kisses, but Samantha Miss is charging from the back. Love and Kisses went to the lead. Samantha Miss gets level on the outside. Portillo is running on late. Samantha Miss goes up, hits the lead. That's an outstanding performance. Samantha Miss, class above them, beat Love and Kisses. Portillo third, then Camilsey and Glow Lamp from One Thing at a Time. Further back behind them next we got Showboard and Flying Tress from Miss Independent, and last of all was Lavished.
1-4-2, Samantha Miss. She's the best filly, the best 3-year-old filly I think in the country, Samantha Miss. And the only thing is she's going to get better as the distances increase. The 1.25 miles, the 1.5 miles. They didn't go that hard. They went along in an even.
In the rest of the spring, Richard Calendar, Samantha Miss, the grand final is yet to come, says Chris Lees, and he's absolutely right.
In the Cox Plate eventually.
I reckon she...
A terrific performance, Stephen. You think she should be running in the Cox Plate eventually?
I reckon she's probably the best horse in New South Wales at the moment.
That's right, Rich? What do you think?
Hard to argue. I think she's the real deal. And what you've got to remember is when she gets over further, like when she gets to 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles, she's going to be better than what she is now. She's the real deal. Ronnie Krogan, who owns her, and Chris Lees have done a super job. These three will clash again next Saturday in the T-Rose. And, of course, also in the T-Rose will be Stripper, who got beat a lip by Duke.
Indeed so, and what an outstanding horse she is, Samantha Miss. She looks as though she's got this Princess Series by the throat, and she is just top class.
A superstar. If someone said to me, here's a $200 betting voucher to have it on something in the Cox Plate, that's what I'd back.
Really?
That's what I'd back.
Agree more. Couldn't agree
25 to 1. I'm all over it, but she's got a long way to go. I don't know if there's plans to even run her in it, but she's an ideal Cox Plate sort of filly. 47 kilos, strong as an ox, and can accelerate from the back. An outstanding win, that.
She's one of those horses.
Into 16s now, Ron.
She's one of those horses. She's just like driving a car. She's foolproof. She does nothing wrong. She doesn't pull. If she gets tight between runners, she just drops a bit. Yeah. She's a beautiful horse. Love and Kisses run was good.
Day at Newcastle. Of course, this is the Group 3 Spring Stakes. A really good bunch of 3-year-olds to go round to at big odds. $2.25 now for Barchia Moore from the inside gate. As I said, he's a half.
Racing this time. Hello, Rhino Chaser stood there, missed it by 3. And Prince of Capers, the early leader from Sousa, and wider out is Tears Speed. A length and a half to Sousa. Then comes the Gold Coast Galloper, Tears and Cheers. One out, one back. Barchia Moore on the inside of Back Off, and further away is Stanley's Deed. About 2.5 then to Rhino Chaser, and 3/4 to Sobo. Prince of Capers on the inside again, booting through to Shade El Caro with Sousa joining in, and wider out on the track, Tears and Cheers. Barchia Moore looking for the way through as they set sail for the judge. 300 to go, and Tears and Cheers race to Sousa. Back Off on the outside. Barchia Moore switches back to the inside to get clear galloping room as they come to the 150, and Back Off out after Sousa, and then comes at the head of the others Barchia Moore. Sousa the leader. Sousa hanging on, flying home as Rhino Chaser. By golly, it's jumped out of the ground. Photo Sousa, Rhino Chaser from Back Off, and Barchia Moore. Then came Stanley's Deed, and further, with due respect to Sousa, I wonder how far Rhino Chaser. I suppose conservatively 2.5, maybe 3, stood there, and in the last little bit.
Is coming up from Newcastle. This is the Cameron Handicap, the Group 3. The favourite is Ashikaga, 4 from 4 now in the gory colours. The bold front runner there. Particularly good first up, just getting nosed out by Typhoon Z, who's gone on and won the Manikato. Also some Specking Godsend, $18 into $7. Reigning to Win on course has got out to $9, and further down Bobadar, $6 into $5. But gee, this one down the bottom, that is a really good go. go, isn't it? Lifeboat for Shane Dye, and it's...
Gates are back, they're off. Newport slow to go. Lifeboat sliding cube best away. Rahib going up between them from hard to catch. Not far away is Bob's last in the Cameron with about 7.50 to run. And sliding cube a half to 3/4 on Rahib. Bobadar running in third posse. Lifeboat is fourth, and then Ashikaga followed closely by Fillets on the outside. Then hard to catch. A couple of lengths further back is Malcolm, and then Raining to Win, God's Hand. And bringing up the rear is Newport. They're on the corner now. 400 left to go. Sliding cube headed by Rahib. Ashikaga being desperately ridden by Shinners. Rahib has bounded away and past the 275. Rahib about 2.5 lengths clear. Sliding cube, Lifeboat, Ashikaga followed by Fillets, Raining to Win, and then Malcolm. But it's Rahib in front, 100 to go, holding them all at bay, and a big win to Rahib. Rahib wins it. Ashikaga second, I'd say. Fillets third, and then Raining to Win with Malcolm. Lifeboat next, then Sliding Cube and Hard to Catch. And the last trio in God's Hand, Newport and Bobadar. And what a win by Rahib and Danny Nikolic. His first major success. And this is with Rahib. 8, 9, 4 and 1. The runner-up there...
Let's have a look at Honolulu. This was the Doncaster Cup from Friday night in the similar colours to Septimus, Derek Smith's colours here.
Johnny Murtagh producing Honolulu on the outside of Royal and Regal. The big two fight out the Doncaster Cup, and Honolulu quickens up to press and pass Royal and Regal entering the final furlong. Honolulu shaken up, shifts left-handed, but has it in safekeeping. Vulcan Knights running on from a mile back to press for second, but Honolulu, another big race success for Aidan O'Brien and Johnny Murtagh. Third in last year's Ledger, first in this year's National Express Doncaster Cup.
Well, he'll get a penalty. He's got 53.5, and that will be announced tomorrow by Greg Carpenter, but he looked pretty good there. Vulcan Knights been around and everything. But have a look at this, see what you think of, this is Septimus for Aidan O'Brien. Wins the Irish and Ledger to give him the clean sweep of the Classics for the first time in his career. Wins by 13 lengths.
Up to the top of the hill, and Michael Fokeen from New Zealand getting closer. Then Septimus a couple of lengths back. They're followed into the straight by Moores Wells and Hasanka with Red Maloney on their outside. Now they come to make the approach to the straight, and New Zealand joins Michael Fokeen. Septimus sits in just behind them. Moores Wells, Red Maloney being followed by Hasanka and Arch Rebel. So off the bend and straightening up for home. Septimus comes to join New Zealand. Chasing them is Red Maloney, Moores Wells and Hasanka as they race now towards the final furlong and a half, and it's Septimus, the long odds-on favourite for Shamie Heffernan. Goes on from New Zealand, Red Maloney, Hasanka and Moores Wells as they race well inside the final furlong now. It's Septimus and Shamie Heffernan who's going to ride his personal third classic this season, but more importantly is going to complete the Grand Slam of 5 classics for Ballydoyle and Aidan O'Brien as Septimus wins it by a huge margin. Septimus a brilliant winner. New Zealand will give him a 1-2, beats Red Maloney for second on the inside.
Well, he can get a penalty for that. That will be announced tomorrow. We'll talk about Honolulu shortly, but won by 13, 3's on favourite. New Zealand was the name of the horse, not the New Zealand horse running second. Though, Yellowstone was alleged to be coming here. He won't be coming. It was pulled up lame, you would think. Forget about what's behind him. He will lead the charge for Aidan this year.
Yeah, I don't think he'd come if they got a penalty, would he? I don't think
he won't get a penalty.
He's not entitled to a penalty.
He's got 58.5 anyway.
Interesting. I mean, Aidan O'Brien's talked about, look, he's a very, very good staying horse. I think he's weighted pretty tough to win with the weight, although there was a big bet on him through the week, wasn't there?
To win $1 million, so I think he'll be coming. If the quarantine is all clear.
In Sydney, of course, is the Theo Marks quality. The Group 2 race, Hoystar is the favourite, and of course he was so good in the Show County first up, just missing out to Bank Robber, who's since won the Tramway Stake.
Now we've got about 5 to move in. Spy's Aim, Hurried Choice, Hoystar, Thesio, and also Forensics to move up. Starter hasn't released them as yet. Now they're off and racing. Good Dispatch and Hurried Choice broke very quickly. Hoystar has bounded out of the stalls brilliantly today, and Boss has got him up running second, albeit a little bit wide early on. Outside him, Thesio, Mentality going forward as they sort themselves out, followed by Dr. Nip and Tuck. But it's Hurried Choice. Bryce Charioteers back at the tail. 700 to go. The leader, Hurried Choice, led by 3/4 on Thesio. And then we've got Mentality. The favourite, Hoystar, backed into odds on track, is running fourth. He's 1 One out, one back as they approach the home turn. All silent up along the inside, and then came Forensic starting to take off. Dr. Nip and Tuck inside it from Spy's Aim. And last of all is Ice Chariot into the straight, and it's the mare Hurry Choice in front of Thesio. Mentality looks for a run, and now Boss is bringing Hoystar the favourite with his run on the outside, and Forensics is starting to warm up as well. Hurry Choice is still in front. Forensics is flashing down the outside. In fact, it's gone past Hoystar and Ice Chariot. It's Hurry Choice in front. Forensics is trying to wear it down. Hurry Choice is in front. Hurry Choice. Hurry Choice has held off Forensics. Photo for third. All Silent or Ice Chariot. And then came Mentality, followed by Thesio. Hoystar never gave a yelp in the straight, followed by Dr. Nip and Tuck, and last in was Spy's Aim.
The two very good mares did it with Gallant Tess. He's now done it with another of his very good mares, Hurry Choice.
Yeah, look, David Payne Stable's really turned.
Arrowfield stud. Complex there for the private clients of Arrowfield. A half neck by 1.5 lengths, 117.14.
Girl was in super order, but very, very impressive, the winner and the second horse. And also All Silent, who got up, held up behind Hoystar. After the race...
Really did there. Rich, I agree with you. I think the run of the race was All Silent. He's the horse I want to be with from now on.
Yeah, but the jury's out on him, and All Silent was terrific. He's a horse that needs to be balanced up and wound into the race. I thought he should have finished much, much closer.
Hoystar's run.
Feature races, of course. This is the Ming Dynasty Quality, held over after the Randwick meeting was washed out last week, Rich.
Yeah, for the boys. One Dreamscape, 240 to 260. Dominant favourite, 31 to 41. Predatory Price has been back, $10 into 850. Black Briar.
Of course, washed out last Saturday at the Chelmsford Stakes meeting. And put back. And Centennial Park came out of the stalls last. Delta Girl jumped out very quickly. Geared Up's going to shade it shortly after the jump. Whitefriars is up there as well. And driving through is Rit and also Sir Prancer taking stock. And the leader is Geared Up. Rit goes up on the outside 3 wide. Sir Prancer between that pair. Whitefriars has carted out about 4 deep early on, followed back at the tail of the field. It's Sir Prancer taking over here. Leads from Rit, and Whitefriars is still out wide. Even deeper sufficient. And Cayman's is nearly in the car park. He's out about 5 deep. And then came Geared Up, followed by Predatory Pricer. In the centre, Centennial Park from Moon Mission, and Dreamscape is coming up about 5 and 6 wide on the back of Cayman's as they bunch right up on the turn here in the Ming Dynasty. And it's Whitefriars and Sufficient racing up to hit the lead. Cayman's is coming on the outside despite that tough run. And then Predatory Pricer starting to push his way into the clear. It's Cayman's moving up to Sufficient. Whitefriars on the outside. Predatory Pricer and Dreamscape. Predatory Pricer has hit the front now. Cayman's is trying to go with him. They're having a bumping duel. Predatory Pricer is just in front. He wins the Ming Dynasty. Predatory Pricer has won it from Cayman's, and Dreamscape looks to have got third in front of Centennial Park and Like Father Like Son, followed by
Predatory Pricer, the half-brother to Takeover Target, takes out the Ming Dynasty Quality. He not only hit the front, he hit Cayman's too there. He's a big, buffy sort of a horse. He's done this in every start that he's had. He just races a little bit all over the place, but once he lets down, gee, he's got a ton of raw ability, this fella. Has, of course, as I said, a long head by a length for Predatory Pricer, taking out the Ming Dynasty, and pretty rough.
I got there in the last few bounds.
Look, he might be a derby horse. He's a half-brother to Takeover Target, one of the best sprinters we've ever seen, and he's just looking like a 2,400 metre horse to my eye. He's got quality about him, and I think he's a...
Okay, good quality race coming up here for the fillies, 3-year-old fillies. Here's the market for it, and very competitive. This, we've got a number of these in the betting from the top. Number 10, of course, so $5.70 there on Super Tab, about $6 here on Court. Okay, let's go to Greg. This is the TBV Eliza Park Champagne Stakes, Group 3.
Gone in. It's Flash, and they're off and racing. A pretty good start too. She's Men are away fantastically and finds the lead ahead of Tarmere, and away quickly Viennese. Lillian Evelyn showing some speed, and Queen of the Falls getting up on the inside, but She's Men had crossed over and led Viennese before the first. Further back is Berger, Complete Control, and Hortensia back last on the outside. Viennese goes on 3 wide, finds the lead from She's Mina, and getting up on there inside Queen of the Falls. They're clear about a half a length on Tarmere, Lillian Evelyn. 2 lengths Cat's Whisker, Dan Baroness, Complete Control. Berger getting up on the rails but into a pocket from Hortensia, and Impressive Eagle, but they're tightly bunched at the turn here. She's met in the middle, Viennese the outside, Queen of the Falls a length and a half clear from Tarmere, Dan Baroness and Lillian Evelyn. Here's Impressive Eagle and Cat's Whisker down the outside. Across the track, Queen of the Falls, Viennese, Dan Baroness sweeping on them, and Impressive Eagle out wide, and Hortensia flying. Dan Baroness in front, Hortensia flashes home, Dan Baroness Got there ahead on the line either Hortensia or Impressive Eagle for the Miners. Berger for fourth. Then came Viennese just behind the Mia and Cat's Whisker.
Well, it was the race that launched Lee Freedman onto the scene in 1984 when the Sauna gave him a first black type victory. He's done it here today with Dan Baroness, has gone around huge odds.
What is for Inglis? A whopping first four there of 14,534 on the numbers.
Career victory in 1984. That's the good news for Lee. The bad news is for, well, not bad news, Hortensia should have won. Impressive Eagle was fantastic. Berger was better. You couldn't make ground out wide yesterday, Steve. You had to be impressed with Hortensia primarily and Impressive Eagle.
Yeah, certainly, Bruce. No doubt Hortensia should have won. The best ride won the race. Well done to...
Showed that before, behind Time Thief.
There were some good things beat around Australia yesterday, but none more so than the second horse there. She should have bolted in.
Okay. We've got the Dato Tan Chin Nam Group 2 form of the Fian coming up next, and it is also Red Armband Day here. Now, there's the market on the screen. Red Armband Day, I'll try and explain that to you. It's Lonergan Millam, Brad Willer and Dan Burton for Brenton Primer, Dan Nikolic for David Taggart, Stephen Kingfish.
The other one they've backed is obviously Maldivian. Today's betting's been evens into $1.95. We took a good bet
for him against Maldivian. I think if you're a Maldivian fan, you're going to be pretty satisfied with the $2 you're getting now on track. I don't think you'd ever thought...
And off they go. Maldivian jumping reasonably on the inside, just has to be scrubbed a bit early. Jungle Ruler away very fast and Sir Slick is away very quickly. Pompey Ruler moving up on the outside. Maldivian settling in the first four from Alamosa, Casual Pass, Tears I Cry. First turn coming up now. Jungle Ruler is the leader from Sir Slick, deep out putting the pressure on. A length Maldivian, a length and a half, then Alamosa getting up into fourth. Casual Pass with Pompey Ruler caught a little wide next. Out, it's been a fast run race to the halfway mark. Jungle Ruler by 3/4 Sir Slick, a length and a half to Maldivian. Alamosa on the rails fourth, one Casual Pass, Pompey Ruler. In on the rails is Guillotine, a length and a half further back Tears I Cry, Playwright. 2 lengths to Zipping, Sermione taking off round the outside, maybe better down on the fence, and then Coalesce and Fast Future. Below the 600, Jungle Ruler from Sir Slick. Alamosa gets up on the inside to tackle, and Maldivian comes on the outside. Guillotine railing through, and then came Pompey Ruler and Sermione. Maldivian sprinted up now and goes to the lead from Alamosa. Jungle Ruler, 2 lengths Guillotine, and then came Sermione. Casual Pass and Pompey Ruler. It's Maldivian the leader. Alamosa 3/4 away. Further back Guillotine getting over their heels, and then Casual Pass. Maldivian in front at the 100. Guillotine's coming after it. Tears I Cry flashing home out wide. Guillotine got to the lead. Guillotine has carved them up to win it. From now, Casual Pass is up there with Tears I Cry for the Miners, and Maldivian just weakening late. Maybe Better's come home strongly. Jungle Ruler zipping, followed by Fast Future, Sermione. Further back in the field, Pompey Ruler battled after a wide run. Playwright and Coalesce towards the tail, and Sir Slick dropped right out of it as last home. Guillotine has won.
Guillotine chops up punters here with a perfect time run here for Craig Williams to score an upset victory in the Dato Tan Chin Nam. He got a lovely...
It's been a pleasure to train.
So he's good around the stables, he's good at home?
And I must say, David Payne always told Les that he thought he was a Group 1 horse, so maybe in Melbourne he likes it more on this leg.
Okay, so you'll stay wait for age now through the Caulfield Cup perhaps?
We bugged his handicap in one hit.
Has, yeah.
One-time OJC Derby favourite, half-brother to the Melbourne Cup winner, efficient, enjoying the Lindsay Park lifestyle, given a great ride by Craig to beat Casual Pass, Tears I Cry. They were terrific again. We'll get to shortly, but Guillotine emerging there as a real contender for the Cups. He's now into the Caulfield Cup without a penalty and a ballot free.
Yeah, David's really wrapped the way that the horses got in, and for the underweight for age, you couldn't plan a horse to get in, and he's exempt from balance, so he's really got no pressure at all, and the horses...
It was murderous. They broke a minute. Jungle Ruler, of course, leading, Sir Slick applying the gas. They went ridiculously hard. Maldivian then forced to come 3 wide from the 600 was fantastic. Alamosa every chance. And I guess pound for pound at his level, poor old Jungle Ruler, Craig came out and gave him a little bump at about the 100 just for good measure. He ran a mighty race.
He did. I think
Craig did give him the perfect ride under the perfect circumstances, but I was also pretty impressed with Casual Pass, Tears I Cry and I'm not giving up on zipping yet.
Can we follow that form? Look, I know Maldivian's there. They're bunched. They're old names. Oh, it was terrific run, Maldivian. Terrific run. He was carved up. What's going on with this Sir Slick? I feel sorry for him. He's a 5 times Group 1 winner. You look at him there tailing out. He was under the whip the whole way.
He pulled up sore yesterday.
I don't care. His 2 prior runs to that, he'd run 15 lengths behind them. It's sad to see a horse like that go round in them races.
Do you think it was an environment?
Next week. We move on to the Group 1 clean event, Manikato Stakes, and it is the first Group 1 race of the season, and a wide market it is. The quaddie's blown wide open by Guillotine's shock win in the Luke Lamb in the number 10 here, 5.50 out to 6.50. Down to last week's one, Belmere, $16 given and taken into $14, and we get down to some chances here. All American right in the betting. You can see the tape price here at $5.20 and Red Element at $4.30.
We've got number 2 as one of the favourites, Capiro. It's drifted out to $6, back into $5.50.
Been in everything. He'll be in everything. The Cox Plate.
Well, I mean, as you've pointed out, he's won the best lead up to the Cox Plate, hasn't he?
Yep. Well, he gets back to him. He was, as David mentioned, favourite for the AJC Derby, Guillotine, and he's got him flying. So.
Out at Group 1. Racing. Red Element jump well, Shadow Way slow by a length. Capiro away flying, finding the lead ahead of Typhoon Z. Monet Rules and Misjudgment getting up into 3rd and 4th, and then Red Element followed by Siderius outside here, the Angels, 1 to Absolute Glam. Then came Belmere, Mr. Baritone. Well back as Shadow Ways followed All American, Cargo Cult and Pillar of Hercules. It's Typhoon Z up outside Capiro, who had the lead around the first turn. A length and a half, Red Element tracking up on the inside. Followed then by Misjudgment out wide and Monet Rules in the centre. A length and a half here, the Angels in the middle of runners. On the rails is Absolute Glam. Siderius the outside. Belmere starting a run, followed by Mr. Baritone, All American, Shadowways, Pillar of Hercules and Cargo Cult. It's Capiro, the leader in the Manikato. A length in front of Typhoon Z. Monet Rules. Red Element down on the inside. Belmere creeping around the field. She's running on. Jerick's going for home on Capiro, led by a length and a half to Typhoon Z. Belmere here, the Angels. And then Red Element, Absolute Glam held up. It's now with 100 metres to go. Capiro in front. Typhoon Z coming at it. Absolute Glam getting through. It's Typhoon Z and Absolute Glam. Typhoon Z a nose, Absolute Glam, Capiro, Shadowways flash home on the inside, and further back in the field, Mr. Baritone, and here the Angels. Red Element, Cargo Cult hit the line, and then All American, Pillar of Hercules, Monet Rules, and Siderius. Well back in the field then Belmere, who loomed up at the home turn, and Misjudgment has dropped out to finish at the tail.
It's a photo, but it looks like Typhoon Z just keeps out Absolute Glam. We'll wait for it to be confirmed. They went off a standing start here, the first 400 in 22.4. 15th Group 1 for Nash Rilla, though his first in about 18 months since Bentley Biscuit won the BTC Cup. Nash in the winner's stall back in Group 1 glory. Absolute Glam, perhaps the only unlucky runner coming out of the race. Capiro tried hard. Steve, what's your overview of the race?
Well, I think it was a very genuine race, Bruce. That was interesting. 35-2 first half, which at this level is just a good, genuine, solid gallop. But every horse pretty much had their chance there, I suppose, other than Absolute Glam, who was held up. I mean, Typhoon Z, even though Tim said got a little breather mid-race, but geez, that's still a very gutsy performance to win the way that he did. Capiro was sound, Absolute Glam unlucky, Shadowways solid. I thought those that were out
on the 1,200 metres out, and the other horse, Absolute Glam, was somewhat unlucky. Well, I think she quite possibly could have won. She got beat, you know, 3 inches or something, and she's probably lost about, you know, a neck to a long neck in the run. So it was a great win, but a lucky win, I thought. You know, the leader came back, and the other horse was a tad unlucky.
Anyhow. Tuesday Joy and Devil Moon, the defending champ. Tuesday Joy's at the $3.90 on course. The tape pretty much okay. Devil Moon, they're back $3 into $2.90. Official top. Julia is $8.50 on course, and realistic.
Moving up into her place, and Bird of Fire jumped away with the field on the outside. Tuesday Joy jumped is okay, but bustled early in the piece, and away quickly Jacqueline Rouge. Bird of Fire down towards the inside ahead of Causeway Queen, coming over Translate on the speed. Autumn Journey settling down about 5th, and they're followed then by Tuesday Joy. Devil Moon about 4 wide in the run of that bottom turn, where Jacqueline Rouge and Brolago last. 700 left to go. Jacqueline Rouge by a half. Bird of Fire a length and a half to Translate. Translate, and Devil Moon fourth out pretty wide. Followed then by Autumn Journey, Causeway Queen on the fence, and then came Tuesday Joy, Coco Tycoon and Dane Julia making ground, and then Illinois Girl. Up towards the turn now, Bird of Fire, Jacqueline Rouge are the two leaders. Devil Moon coming around the outside, got the third. Coco Tycoon was next. Causeway Queen waiting on a run on the inside. She's going for a needle eye opening. There's not a lot of room there. Coming around the turn, Bird of Fire from Jacqueline Rouge. Causeway Queen disappointed for the run. Autumn Journey running on, and then Devil Moon. She's trying to get there. Tuesday Joy coming on. They stretch across the track. 5 across the track. Tuesday Joy's coming home the better out wide. Tuesday Joy got up and won it from either Bird of Fire or Devil Moon in a bobbing photo. Causeway Queen close up on the rails, had little luck, and Jacqueline Rouge is handy to these. Autumn Journey just off them, followed then by Dane Julia, Reggie, Anna Marta, and then Translate and Prolago last home.
Big day for Nasharilla, and Tuesday Joy achieves what her little half-sister did. Of course, Sunday Joy back in 2003 by winning this race. Nash takes 2 Group 2 races today. Class tells there she was too good. Touch of class.
For Gay Waterhouse as well. I'm sure she has a big smile on her face here at Rosehill Gardens, having a look at her Bonnie mare Tuesday Joy, heading on towards the Melbourne Cup, taking out the stocks.
There's probably a 6 or 7 to 1 chance in being the finish. 50 metres out, she was 10s on. Class tails. Devil Moon tough again, tried hard. Busy finish near the inside. A lot of crowding and minor protests there, but a bit of class here, Steve.
Yeah, certainly, Bruce. It's amazing, isn't it, when these mares come back to competition against their own kind effectively at weight for age or set weights. Those with the form at Group 1 level against all comers triumph. They did yesterday, first and second. Tuesday Joy, excellent. Devil Moon, extremely brave. Remarkably good effort. Causeway Queen, no luck. Autumn Journey, I was on her. Gee, she had no luck. I think she might have nearly won the race with a...
That's what took the gloss off the race for me.
Dane Julia should have nearly won that race. She got shoved back into the pocket and lost momentum and gathered herself up the last little bit. She looks, look at her here inside Tuesday Joy, getting held up. This is a very, very important stage of a race, especially at the Valley. And look, the horse, Enamato's got momentum on her out wide here, and she has to hide to finish in front of her. She should have nearly fought that finish out.
Her form was excellent prior to that too. She was a little bit unlucky in both of her runs.
Let's look at the market now. Weekend Hustler stayed home and had a giggle. $3. Maldivian remained solid at 6. He was strong. Guillotine into $18. He's guaranteed a run. We're going to see most of them again next week. Of course, Underwood Stakes headed by Weekend Hustler. If he wins next week, he'll be even money for everything, won't he? Weekend Hustler 280 over Maldivian. This is the Cox Plate market. Light fan. Ran slow time.
Honolulu, do you think he'll come?
Yep. They're the 3.
Right.
Septimus, Honolulu and Alessandra Volta. Septimus now favourite over Efficient. That's the big move overnight. $6.50 favourite off that performance overnight. Efficient now second pick at $7.50. We'll see him in the Turnbull, and that's probably it for him. Tuesday Joy of Firma yesterday into $11. Weekend Hustler sits there, $15. Red